this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
following is a presentation of Mr. X News Network.
Objection! I said I didn't do nothing! The following is a presentation of Mr. X News Network. It's Mr. X News Network. That's me. It's Mr. X with the large white arms. We're ready to go. I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. We got a phenomenal show. When the news got out of this show today, the information that's going to be coming out with Johnny Yarbrough later tonight. And, you know, I love to hear from Noodle Salad and some of the repeats and this and that, but we got a first time ever. We've heard a lot about minor leaguers. We've heard a lot about people who've never made it to the league. Tonight, a dear friend of the Mr. X will be on the show, UFC veteran, Ultimate Fighter Season 1, badass, Sam Hoger will be on the show. We'll talk mixed martial arts. We're going to talk about what ifs. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, including how he met the Mr. X and his involvement in the entertainment industry. Of course, then we'll do some news. We're going to hear from Johnny Yarbrough. So there's a variety of things going on tonight's show. If you're part of the Mr. X News Network newsletter, which is free, by the way, and you can get on that newsletter for free, all you got to do is email me at mrxisnotlooseScunt@gmail.com. I know that's a lot. That's a mouthful there. Where is it at, monkey? Where is it at? Here it is right here. Bring it up. There it is. If you email me at that email address and say, Mr. X, you're an athlete, you're a physical specimen at age 47, I almost said 45. People want to touch you. People want to talk to you. People want autographs from you. We've seen your movies. We've seen the books. We want to be on the newsletter. That's how you get on the newsletter. You put on there for free. If you get tired of it, there's 2 a week. That's 4. Let's do 2. You can take yourself off anytime you want. But if you were on the newsletter, you got the information first of who the special guest is tonight, and that special guest is Sam Hoger. And for a long time, I thought about having him on the OTT. I thought about having him so many other places, but we will have him here tonight. What a great opportunity, and it's very nice for him to do this short notice within the last couple of days. He's a busy guy, still does a lot of training and training other people. We'll get to that in a bit and why that's important to this show, but a very humble, and I've talked about him before, a guy who will always get your back and sticks with his friends. He doesn't need to do this, but it's very nice that he is, and I'm glad to have him here. You can email me, Mr. X at isnotlooseScunt@gmail.com. Now, let me say hello to some people in the chat. How you doing is here. That's right. Texas Granny, Barbara Buffalo, Mean Green. There's a Donkey Dick is in the house. Probably some people I unblocked. Well, you're here with the Mr. X. That's right. And we're going to go and get into a few right off the bat. Rainbow Melon coming in. There she is, 99 cents. Rainbow Melon, a second time, 1,000 subscribers. That's right. Beyond and beyond. This is the Mr. X. That's right. We got to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know what that does, but hey, people are telling me they were wanting to get me to 1,000, and of course we got to 1,000. And it doesn't sound like a lot. You only need 500 to be monetized. That's the most important thing. So 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 at this point doesn't really matter, but we'll take it. I'll take it as a win. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rainbow Melon. And then, of course, Mean Green came in. There she is. And, of course, we also have Barbara Buffalo. There were congrats on 1,000. So thank you to all those people that got me to that little milestone there. I'll take it. That's right. 220 to 234 live. No matter what we do, it's going to be said that this is purchased, that is this, and this should this, and yada, yada, yada. Here's what we're going to do tonight. I got a little bit of news. Mr. Hoger, whenever you're ready, you're welcome to come up. We're about 10 minutes in here after the openings and kind of getting everything situated. Johnny, I will send you a link later when we get to it. If you are watching Mr. X News Network, you've never seen Mr. X News Network before. What I do is kind of like Howard 100 News and a little bit like Jon Stewart. I talk about news around the country, things that I find entertaining and interesting. It could be sports, it could be movies, it could be pop culture, it could be a lot of different things. And I give my take on it. That's what it's like, CNN, but XNN. And that way you get the news directly from me and not these other bullshit avenues. I tell you what I think about the news. Is it legit? Is it not legit? All that kind of stuff, right? I tell you if it's legit. Of course, you got to take it with a grain of salt, coming from a guy like Mr. X in a mask. Now, with that being said, I even have the font of CNN. I hope they don't sue me over it. San Diego Comics going on. A lot of different things are going on. But what I will do for people who are just fight fans or UFC fans and not Mr. X fans, I am going to put in the description when Sam Hoger comes up at the exact timestamp, and however long he's up here is however long he's up here. So hopefully we at least have him for 20, 25 minutes because I got a handful of questions about it. And I think that these questions, even if you're not a giant fight fan, some of these kind of delve into pop culture or my relationship and knowing him over the years, friendship with him, that kind of stuff. So it's not all about, hey, it's this fighter versus this fighter, and I've never heard of this guy, and I'm not a big UFC fan. I mean, Hoger crosses over a lot of different things from, believe it or not, rap to stunts to acting. I mean, he's been in a lot of different things. Obviously, also a reality star. And one of the big questions I'm going to ask him is, there's some other people out there that say that they're mixed martial artists, including Angel Gotti's nephew, John Gotti III. Now, John Gotti III, he fought Floyd Mayweather, and that's a big deal in an exhibition. You can never take that away from him, never beat him. I don't think anybody's ever beat Floyd Mayweather. But he fought in a promotion called CES, John Gotti III. And I'm just going to be curious. I mean, does Sam Hoger even know who that is? What does he think about him? What is this CES mixed martial arts? Because you could see that there's a difference between the UFC, which is the high of the major leagues, and some of the other promotions out there. So, I mean, and that's not to disparage anybody, but the Bellators, the Prides and all, I mean, some of the people love Pride, but we could get into all that. Some of these organizations aren't even around anymore. But anyways, now just stick with me on this because Mr. X is more of a pro wrestling fan than he is a UFC fan, a casual UFC fan, but I know enough about it to get myself in a little bit of trouble. And Barbara Buffalo says, UFC is the only thing I enjoy watching. Good. Here's something I enjoy watching. These super stickers coming in. Texas Granny, $19.99. There it is. Thank you, Texas Granny. We'll get to the PayPals and Cash Apps later. And how you doing? $20. That is Miss Texas. Thank you, Miss Texas. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I don't want to embarrass him. Sam didn't. I suggested that Sam put up his Cash App. Sam did not. He's not doing this to earn an extra $20. It's not about that for him. But what I said to Sam is like, if you're going to come up here, like anybody that would come up on my show, you might as well at least throw your Cash App up there. And, whatever he earns, he earns. I'm not asking anybody to do anything that they're not comfortable with. And it's not about him necessarily earning 20 or 30 or $50. But if we could get him a baseball steak, as I usually say, then, I will end up buying it for him if I need to. Just a way to say thank you, but just to kind of preface it with that. Some news and some information going around as we're waiting for Sam. He's welcome to come up whenever he's ready, if you're watching live, or he'll come up at around the 30-minute mark because that's when I originally told him. Said hello to some people in the chat. I hear nobody's going live against me because they know we got a big guest tonight. They know that they can't beat the Mr. X. And the fact of the matter is if you are saying you're going to be somewhere, Michigan, Ohio, wherever it might be, my suggestion is to prove that is to always turn your camera on and go live. If you can't do that, you're not being truthful. That's the bottom line on that. So I gotta mention this. I said I wouldn't get into a lot of hater talk, but people have been asking about this, and I gotta put this out there because I know people like Betty Hayward and some of the other people are interested in this. Brandon Havel, aka Laying the Pipe, is in some fucking hot water. Next month, he has his court case, which is completely independent of anything that he had to do with us over here. That's for his drug charges, allegedly, and all these other things that he did in Florida. But with that being said, Mr. X did speak to the assistant state attorney today in Orlando named Rebecca McLaughlin. We spoke to Rebecca McLaughlin. We told the story about what Laying Pipe did about shutting off the show, his dealings with Spectrum and so forth, and that was put out there. Now, since we are not part of that case, I don't know how much involvement or information will be disseminated, but I could tell you this whole idea that I guess he was telling people it's going to be dismissed. I don't know about that, but then again, I've heard stranger things. On top of that, we have spoke to Spectrum, okay? And there is, all I'm going to say is this. There's definitely movement going on. Spectrum did try to deny that Laying Pipe would have any kind of access to scope. We proved them wrong. Okay? That's how it is. And you know what? It took about a month for them to respond to us, but we told them they got 3 days or we're going to go down to the Pacific Division. They got back to us real quick. Now they're trying to cover their asses, they being Spectrum. And they're very aware of this, of what's going on. But this whole thing is not good for Laying Pipe. Let me put this out there right now, just in case there needs to be any law enforcement, which I don't want to get involved with, or in case there has to be anything legal. If you are out there and you know about his whereabouts for legal purposes only, please contact me at mrxisnotlooseScunt@gmail.com in case we have to serve him. Yes, in case there has to be something legally done, you're not going to see me show up anywhere. And if you're a hater, anybody can contact me. If you know, because he said he's in Florida. He said he's in California. I believe he's still in Florida per the information that now I've received. I don't think he ever left. I don't think he has the capability to leave. So if you're out there and you know, and you can prove, and it's not just a hunch, please contact me at that email address in case anything legal needs to happen. And we will keep it anonymous. It's not going to be for public consumption. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but that guy made a huge, huge mistake. And here, the other stuff with the other court case and all this other stuff, yeah, it took us a little while to get back to this, and it took us a little while for Spectrum to pick up the phone. But the fact of the matter is, we are back on this now, and we're not backing down from this because what that guy did was a crime. We'll take care of that at a later date. That's it for now. And one last thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned about a week or so ago when the court case finished down in San Diego that I was done with those people. Well, apparently, and I thank you for your emails, I am aware, but the petitioner is still sending in motions after he already lost to the court. It's public record. Now, the attorney that I worked with, I want to put it in a past tense. He doesn't really need to be looking into more stuff for me, but there are documents that are filed that we are getting. I have no idea what they are about. I think they are about sealing, which sealing it's fine. You can go do whatever you want, but just to let you know that there is still motion on their sides and there hasn't been on ours. Just going to put that out there. So we're not going to back down from anybody. We never do. What's up to Ken? He is in the house. Sam did fight Stephan Bonner. That is correct. Let's not forget that Sam, in his fights with the UFC, never tapped out, never submitted, never was knocked out. That's right. And that Stephan Bonner was a big fight. If I'm not mistaken, he's in the Hall of Fame. So yes, the answer to that is yes. And like I said, I don't have all of his stats on me. But, and I'm not going to do this thing where I play old videos and show old photos and all that bullshit. It's not necessary. Either you know who he is or you don't know who he is. And if you don't know who he is, you can look it up. Take my word for it that he's doing okay. Speaking of doing okay, he is coming up. This is an athlete Let me introduce. I'm going to bring you up here in a second. Let's make sure we have everything back. I got you. Perfect. I see a website there. Okay. Look at it like this. This is a man who's been a friend of the Mr. X for probably around 10 years. He's an athlete like the Mr. X. That's right. Look at that arm. I'm not a mixed martial artist. I'm not a black belt. As you could see in the tap out video, I have ventured into the cage just one time just to try my hand. And when I got into the cage, I tapped out a black belt. You remember this? Monkey, bring it up. Now, somehow that guy's arm is real long and fucked up. That might be AI, but you can see that Mr. X has a purple belt. I'm working my way up. No, that's not me. I didn't do nothing. I played college basketball. I wouldn't venture in an octagon, but let me bring up a man that did and has. That's Sam Hoger. Here he is. Let's bring him up. Bang! What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing? It's nice to see you.
Man, it's always good to see you. How have you been, dude? What is the latest?
The latest is we are here on Mr. X News Network on YouTube. We got we're in the 260s-ish. We're creeping up, and I wanted to start with this. I talked about before I brought you up that we've known each other for about 10 years. Is that about right? Sound about right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, since back in the day. Yeah, like when we were pursuing the silver screen. I remember that.
I'm still in the pursuit as much as I can, but yeah. So here's what's up. You had an agent, and tell me, because I know my side of the story, but I'm curious of yours. We both had agents when we were in New Orleans, and
yes.
You're a graduate too of LSU. Is that correct? Or you
Go
went
Tigers.
to LSU?
Go Tigers! Graduated from LSU.
LSU Tigers. So with that being said, now we're not going to get into the Jamarcus Russell conversation. That's for a different time. But with that being said, you and I had the same agent, and we didn't know each other in New Orleans.
True. Yeah.
Is a guy
Del
named
Corral.
Del Corral and Associates, but the guy's name was Terry. Terry McNeil. When's the last time you spoke to Terry McNeil?
Oh my gosh, years ago. I mean, Terry was full of energy, man. The guy was. He was definitely very energetic. You know, he was.
Do you know why he was energetic? He was an older guy. Do you know why he had that kind of spirit in him?
How come?
He was a spin instructor at that New Orleans, the old gym that they have there.
Oh,
he was actually
really?
a longtime spin instructor.
Mm.
And one of the things that he saw on my resume is that I, believe it or not, I know this is going to sound silly, but I have as a special ability that I can instruct a spin class. And he looked at that and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I go, "No, I could do it. You want me to do it right now? Like I could just sit on a chair and do it." And that's how he brought me in. He used to have his agency in a house, like one of those shotgun houses off, I can't remember, Carrollton?
Yeah.
Okay. And after, this is probably 2015, 2013. I remember I made my address on my ID to his agency.
Oh my God. He let you do that.
Yeah, let me do that. He was a pretty cool guy, but then he got into some fight with some women that I knew. And I ended up going with a better agent, I think, because Del Corral, the old man or the old lady who used to own that agency, he purchased it. Once the old lady passed away, he purchased the name of the agency. It was known, but he was running it and he didn't have the connections that other people did.
Man, it's so hard in that industry because it's really an industry, like especially like the acting and the TV. The one thing that I noticed is that every time you meet somebody, it doesn't, like if anybody's out there pursuing acting or you want to try to like, you have to think of it this way. And I didn't learn this until later in the game. Every time you meet somebody or see somebody, you have to think you're making a first impression again, because they will only take that last like avatar of who you were to remember you.
Yep. I remember me doing some bad auditions and him saying, you were flat today. And he kept me up on my game. But I think I only ended up booking like really one thing with him. And that was the movie with, what was it? Ray Liotta. I booked a Ray Liotta movie with him, a speaking part. And I had like one line. Like one line in the movie. And it got cut.
He was really like, I really feel like he tried to do his best work and he really tried to put us out there. And I felt like he was very like honest about that. But the thing that I honestly noticed about him was that for some reason the reputation that preceded him,
Yes.
it blocked a lot of opportunities. I noticed.
See, like, for example, me and my girlfriend were both repped with him, but he was kind of blocked, at least from what I understand. The biggest casting director in New Orleans is a lady named Megan Lewis. And
Oh my God.
so if
Megan
you were
Lewis is
with
such
him, you couldn't get to Megan Lewis. Well, when we left, we both mutually left and went to a different agent, had a film that was out there in the world and that we produced. And then Megan Lewis called her in one time. She booked NCIS New Orleans.
Yeah, but Megan Lewis is a clown. I mean, in terms of casting directors, let's be honest. I mean, that woman sits there and plays favoritism rather than looks at talent. She sits there and then tries to act like she's a serious casting director, but really all she's trying to do is bring her friends in. And like, to be honest, and like, I can speak to this now because like I've got enough money, I can speak my mind.
Sure.
And like, every time I went in to see her, like, I remember one time I drove from Houston to Dallas for a Megan Lewis seminar, right?
Yes.
Because like I wanted to meet her and I wanted to see like how I could like, be more of what she was looking for. And the entire time I was there, she was trying to play this subpar, second tier feminist role where she was trying to like constantly like look for things to like put men down about. Like unless you were like, and the thing that I had really found that was really disgusting about her personality, and if anybody meets her, I feel sorry for you. But if any of you guys actually meet Megan Lewis that lives in Louisiana but was casting in LA, you will notice that she has a disgusting, entitled, like, I'm more powerful than you in my little stupid world of casting. And it's like, I hate to say it, but I mean, she is the absolute definition of trash that got a little bit of power, and now she likes to go ahead and throw her power around. But she's disgusting. I mean, anyone who meets her, like, do me a favor. If anybody out there ever meets her, please do me this favor. And tell me if you get the same impression. Maybe I got the wrong impression.
No. I'm on the same page with you.
But she is the epitome of like a trashy person who finally got a little bit of power. She must have been the person that got like beat up in high school or something because she got a little bit of power. And and I was approaching with respect and with like like I was trying to give her like a lot of deference and just respect and and I was trying to. But like the thing that I noticed is like the second you start, she's one of those people that the second you start like giving them credit for something, they use the fact that you're giving them credit as a reason to go ahead and discount who you are. So if any of you guys ever meet the piece of trash casting director named Megan Lewis, do me a favor and tell me if I'm wrong, please, because I mean she's a dirtbag, like from my perspective.
Here's the thing.
Honestly, any movie that hires her, do you see all the movies that she's been a part of?
Sure.
Some of them have been successful, some of them have, sure, but I don't think it's really much in part to her work because she doesn't really cast the lead.
Well, she is what's considered locals
a
casting.
trash bag.
Yeah, she just does,
and I get it.
She's not bringing in Brad Pitt to a movie. You know what I mean? She just is hiring whoever's locals.
And look, and I don't mean to trash on her too much, but I mean I'm giving my honest perspective in reference to it. And like if people can't handle honesty, that's their problem. But honestly, if you ever meet Megan Lewis, please, and you're doing acting in New Orleans, just remember what you're dealing with here.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick little story about Megan Lewis. I was going into an audition. I had a handful of auditions with her, and they wanted me to play like a Opie Taylor kind of deputy. And I look at myself more as obviously a Chuck Norris type. You know what I mean? But okay, I'll go do this. So I go in there. I'm driving down there, and it's a shitty area. It's on the outskirts of the Garden District. So one street could be nice and one street could be shitty. And then I get a call from Terry McNeil, the agent. He goes, "Hey, listen, we changed it. You're going to do this, but you got to have a British accent." I said, "British accent? I don't fucking do that. I can't do that." So I went in there and I started. Do you ever heard like Stallone in a movie where he like whispers, or Nick Cage whispers or screams live like, "What are you talking about? I didn't do that." You know what I mean? And I started doing that to hide an accent. Like Russell Crowe does that. Right?
Yeah.
And it was so bad. It was so bad, she basically threw me out of the fucking room.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't. I was like, yeah, I saw Stallone the other night in Demolition Man. Be like, what? What are you talking about? I didn't do that. You know, whatever it was. So that's how. And I said, Megan, listen, I got this 5 minutes before. I'm doing the best I can. I don't know this character. I didn't have any time to study it. I was getting ready for the deputy, but I'm just doing the best I can. But yeah, you know what?
The fact that you even came in there to go ahead and try to like relieve her anxiety about having to, fill this role, and not even understand that you got this at the last minute. She still acted like the the trash bag that she always acts like, because now I got power and I got this guy off his guard, and then she tries to just trash on men, and it's like the times are changing. Like, we're through with dealing with these trash women who don't have any perspective in reference to how to like treat men correctly, and like I'm honestly happy that. Hopefully they're going to get rid of her. Hopefully seriously, she's.
I mean, Louisiana's done. They're not as big as when you and I were there. So as far as her having
I
power,
wonder why.
Yeah, well, part of it.
I wonder why.
Local casting director gone. All right, now let's enough about me. We're here to talk about you, and obviously, I wanted to talk about how you and I met, and yada yada, and later on, this Del Corral, Terry McNeil says, you got to meet this guy, Sam Hoger. You guys would have a lot in common. I said, I know that name. Why do I know that name? Is he a guy I auditioned with? And I was like, oh, this is the guy who was in The Ultimate Fighter season 1 and fought in the UFC.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I know this. So I knew you through the show. And now here's the first question. There's a lot of people, and we'll get into you before The Ultimate Fighter and all that. There's a lot of people that say, that entire cast of The Ultimate Fighter season 1 should be in the UFC Hall of Fame. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Oh, sure I have. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you're talking about yourself kind of here, but I mean, is that a fair assumption? I mean, everybody that came out of that Ultimate Fighter season 1, I mean, is very well known.
I think, Dana White even said it at one point in an interview that he was going to do that, but I think he's been very busy with obviously like the huge growth of the UFC and having to keep up with that I'm sure he forgot to do it. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we definitely contributed a lot to the sport, and I was honored to be a part of it. I mean, I got to think like Joe Cavallero from Cavallero and Associates, my agent when I was fighting.
Yes.
And I got to thank Dana White and the Fertitas and all the people, and all the cast members who were part of that. Like at the time we had no clue like how big this thing was actually going to be. Like it was such a like out of the blue thing. Like I got a call when I was over at Militich Fighting Systems in Iowa, and I was helping Pat Militich build this new gym because Gold's Gym had just kicked him out because a new owner had purchased the Gold's Gym and he wanted to kind of like redo the aesthetic of it. So when he kicked Pat Militich out, we had to find a new gym. So Pat, with this guy named Colin Carney from Great Western Supply. Colin Carney was the one who backed Pat and helped Pat get this location down by the river. And I remember I would go every day just because I wanted to show that I was loyal to Pat and that I was here to see to the success of him and the success of the team of Militich Fighting Systems. Because mind you, when I was there, I was still pretty new at the time. And we ended up having to build the whole gym from the ground up. And it was a task. And we ended up building the place that became Champions Fitness.
Yeah.
And
I was going to get to that. You're jumping ahead on me on the
military. Man, I'm just trying to fill you in.
I got a lot of questions. Let me back up.
Here, I'll make a monosyllabic answers. We can go to the facts.
Oh no, I want to talk about Militich, but hold on a second because I got a ton of questions before we jump to that for going further ahead. Let's back up a tiny bit. The Ultimate Fighter. Okay. Who would you say is of the house or the people, the obviously the people in the cast or whatever you want to call them, the different fighters? Who are you the closest with, and who are you still the closest with out of that group?
Rest in peace. I was closest with Stephan Bonner because we had been friends before the show.
Yes.
On the show, I was closest to Chili Dog Willis, aka Alex Schonauer.
Yep.
I was also pretty close with Mike Swick. We had a pretty solid friendship there.
All right. Now, go ahead.
Let me think who else. I mean, those are the guys that that I was pretty that's pretty close. Yeah, they were wonderful.
Now here's another question, kind of backing up. You got people call you the Alaskan Assassin, but I was always kind of confused by this. You got ties to Houston, ties to LA, ties to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Alaska, Iowa because of the Militich. Why and how are you so well traveled? Like you're all over the place. Why is that?
When I was a kid, I was raised in a military household. My father was in the military. When I was born in Louisiana, before I was 1 year old, we had moved to Germany, and my first part of my life I spent in Germany. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
That's right. I don't speak anything except for El Puedo ir el baño, por favor. Where's the bathrooms at? I'm in Mexico. I got to take a piss. That's about it.
Oh my gosh. So after Germany, we went down to Panama, and we were down in Central America during the war, during the invasion.
Okay.
And while we were there, you know, it was war. It was insane. And after the war finished, we moved up to a weapons testing facility up in Alaska called Fort Greely. And I don't even think it exists anymore.
Okay.
It's a base that the people live on is about this big, but the base itself is the size of Rhode Island.
Wow.
And while we were up there in Alaska, you know, it was it was a complete change because I'd never been really to the United States. And so like this was the first time that I was really in the US as like a sixth grader. And I was starting to kind of like learn like the ways over here because I'd grown up all over the world. Like my personality and like my manner and my way of being, you know, is Germany and Panama. And then I come to the United States and I'm like, oh wow, this is different. But I mean, it was different in a great way because the one thing that I liked about the United States was that in Germany, the people are very like reserved. In Panama, the people are very active and to the point. But over here in the United States, like the thing that I had found was that there were so many different personalities. There's no one way. You can't say like the personality of the United States is A, B, C, or D, if that makes any kind of sense. Whereas like you can typically, and you can't say that it's for everybody, but you can typically say that people that come from a particular part of the world tend to have like a cultural umbrella that tends to surround like the way that they tend to interact with other people. And so and obviously it's not everybody, but one of the things that I had noticed was that like when I came to the United States, there were so many different types of personality types per se, and the energy was amazing. So like, I mean, I came here and I love it, still love it. It's like,
you're better all over the place.
But I feel like after leaving a war zone down in Panama, down in Central America, and then come to the United States, like it feels like you hit the lottery just being here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this place is just so ripe with opportunities and like and so wonderful. And like, you know, and the other thing you notice is when you live internationally, like people internationally, at least back in the 80s and 90s, they're very like there's a certain kind of like hunger that's in the air, you know, because everybody's trying to like, you know, get ahead in whatever they're doing. Whereas like over here in the United States, you can feel the abundance of opportunity and the abundance of like of choice over here that you don't have in a lot of other countries.
I mean, it's amazing that you went up to Alaska. There was a military base up there. And then at what point, because I looked it up in you know some of your bio, you are a black belt in karate and in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Is that correct?
I am. I started in karate when I was down in Panama.
So you started down there, and then when do you get these black belts? Are you picking them up along as you're moving place to place? Are you a teenager? Like how do you become a black belt in both?
So the way that it started was I started in karate down in Panama under my sensei named Ray. He's this older black dude who was teaching me traditional, I think it was Shotokan karate at the time. But then when we moved up to Alaska, I couldn't continue my training up there in Alaska. So it wasn't until we moved to Anchorage that I was able to go in and start training under Tom Okamoto. His real name is Yoshihito Okamoto, but he goes by Tom because that's like his American name.
And they're asking what degree in black belt too. Like I mean, a black belt is a black belt, but what degree in black belt? Somebody asked that in the chat.
Oh, I like once I get my black belt, I stop. I'm always
that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I could have tested for second and third and gone and got my other, but like after I get my black belt, like I really don't like and I don't know if anybody else who's been in the martial arts has experienced this, but like after you get your black belt, like your focus is not on like trying to get the next belt, but your focus is on actually trying to be a better martial artist and like a more complete martial artist.
Okay.
And one of the things that I noticed was that when I got my black belt, at least in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, when I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I noticed like when I was coming up, I was concentrating on like a lot of things that were more popular back then, like spider guard, half guard, a lot of like the arm drives Marcelo Garcia was using. But then when I finally got to black belt, I was like, I need to go back and clean up my basics. And what you do is you end up concentrating. And I think the person that inspired that was this guy named Hoger Gracie. It's spelled Roger, pronounced Hoger.
Yeah.
Kind of like Royce Gracie is like with the R, it should be Royce.
That's right.
Hoger Gracie. If you guys are ever bored, look him up. It's like Roger Gracie.
Yeah, no, I know the Gracie family. I know who he is for sure. I think they got something down in Marina Del Rey, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around here, they used to have a gym.
I know Hedon and his brother have a gym over there. And it's the Gracie.
That's what I'm thinking of. That must be
it's a
it.
wonderful school. I went over there and rolled with Hedon, and oh my goodness, man! You want to talk about like, I don't get starstruck when I meet people, but when I rolled with them, like I felt like that moment of like, oh wow.
Let me ask you this. I mean,
I'm rolling with a guy who has direct lineage to the tree. Like it felt.
Yeah, Hoist Gracie is the reason people started watching UFC. I mean, I certainly do. I remember going into video stores and seeing Faces of Death when I was in college and UFC like 1, 2, and 3, and I was like, okay, the Faces of Death stuff's bullshit. I want to see UFC. And that's how I got into it, watching it actually on tapes way after it was done. I'm 47. Let's say I wanted to get into martial arts for self-defense and just for staying in shape. Which one would you suggest? I've never done martial arts or boxing or anything like that. If I was going to get into one, let's say some hater wants to show up and fight the Mr. X. I want to be able to defend myself and get in better physical shape. Which one?
Okay, so for the combination of getting in shape and defending yourself, I would say I mean, at our age, I wouldn't recommend getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if you're an older person, because a lot of the holds, like once you're over the age of like 30 to 33, if you haven't been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu your whole life, your body's not going to be used to getting twisted and turned and cranked on, and your neck and your back are going to, you really risk. I mean, I'd say get into something like kickboxing or I hate to say it, but even Krav Maga would probably be more suited for someone who's older, looking to get into something for the sake of self-defense. Now, I don't know about getting in shape because I haven't. I don't think Krav Maga focuses on that. So I'd say kickboxing and not Muay Thai. Don't do Muay Thai. I'm going to warn you.
Yeah, I'm worried about these shits.
Don't do Muay Thai, because Muay Thai is an art that is deliberately like designed to like test the extremes that your body can go to.
Right.
And the problem when you're older is like, banging your shins against other people's shins, or banging your elbows into their head, or like, or having a shin bone kick you in the forearm and it breaks, but then the callus forms in it, so it comes a little harder.
Right.
You as an older adult, I mean, it's if you haven't been doing that your whole life, and you've been like, in the fight world, we have this thing called being a civilian, which means you're a person who's never fought, probably never been punched in the face. And well, I'm not you, but I'm just saying.
Well, I've been punched, not punched back, but
oh, I know you. I'm not talking about you, but like most civilians out there who haven't come up in the culture of like war and fighting and like engagement like that, I don't recommend for them to get into Muay Thai, get into kickboxing, like American style or European style kickboxing.
Yes,
because I think that would be able to serve both the self-defense and the fitness. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, that's like, if you're under the age of like 30, I think that's okay. Or if you've been a wrestler your whole life, I think that'll be all right. But I mean, if you enter it too late in life, I mean, the holds they will put on you can really damage your body. And the thing is your body heals so much slower when you're older. So like, you get your shoulder cranked on, and like, what feels like nothing to me or to like a teenager who could sit there and get it cranked on all day, all of a sudden you wake up and you're, I can't, like, like it'll, I won't say it will paralyze you, but it'll make you feel. No,
that's actually great advice. I never really thought about it like that, but well, that's good to know, because I was looking at some boxing gyms and I was looking at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but yeah, I just, and there's some gyms that do a few things, and I'm like, I've always wanted to go through like a boxing camp, but I've never had, I'm not set to fight anybody, but I would love to go through it. And I was like, which one would be both? And that does make sense, because kickboxing, you're using both. So, I mean, that makes 100% sense. Now, hold on. I got a few questions here. I'm just going to give you some quick fire questions because you talked about wrestling. Now, you are a lightweight. Are you? I'm sorry.
Heavyweight.
Light
heavyweight. I wish I was a lightweight.
No, I mean light heavyweight.
Man.
I'm a
lightweight.
So a light heavyweight is between what weights?
Okay, so light heavyweight is between I think it's 186 and 206.
So 186. I'm 195, but if I was, and I'm 6'1", but I stood next to you, you're a much bigger physical human being than I am. Like you are, you can hold more weight. You're you're taller than me. I'm 6'1", you're like 6'4", 6'3".
Right in there.
Yeah, you're much bigger than me. So I would be like CM Punk size. I would be, which is the one down, if I'm not mistaken, is welterweight.
Oh
is
man,
that correct?
I felt so bad for CM Punk, that poor guy.
Let me ask you, this is my question about CM Punk. Now, you guys fought in a different era. Now, and he's below you, but in his he's muscular now. He's a big guy. And the level of fighters that he fought are not the level of people that you fought. It's not even close. Okay. What would happen in theory if he came up to light heavyweight and fought you in those years? I mean, how quickly could you finish him?
Well, let's very quickly, but let's give, like, first of all, let's put things into context. CM Punk is a civilian, even though he does pro wrestling and he takes his knocks and whatnot. He's still a civilian. He was not raised in the culture of violence and the culture of like taking people out throughout your whole life.
Right.
You know, he was raised in the culture of acting and theatrics, and he's great, amazing.
I tell you what, he's the biggest right now, muscular wise, that I've ever seen him.
And I mean, I love the fact, like, the thing that I appreciate about him, and like as a fighter, the thing that I can appreciate about CM Punk is the fact that he did what most civilians talk about doing, but never do.
Right.
He said he wanted to fight, and even though yes, he lost the fight, you know, the fights he had, he stepped up and he did it. Like, he actually went to Duke Rufus's and trained, and he tried to do it, and he fought like he did wonderful, you know. And I have to like give him all the credit in the world for like having the heart to be able to do that, because I know people talk and God bless them. I love the fact that like they feel that inspiration, but it's one thing to feel the inspiration. It's a complete another thing to get into the training, and even another thing above that, to step into the cage, and then making the time that you step into the cage into the, like, it's like making the first time you get on the line, like making it the NFL,
right?
Like being a defensive end, like, oh man, it's the first time I've ever played football. Like, anyone who goes on that line is going to get crushed. But the thing that you admire as a fighter is that he had the one thing that you can't teach people. He had heart, and you can't teach heart. That's what makes CM Punk special, is the fact that like he got on that line, he got crushed, but he fought and he did it. I was a big fan. There is amongst us fighters. There's a thought line and the time that you become a fighter is when you finally get in the cage or the ring or whatever, and you actually have to fight. And the thing is like, regardless of whether or not he won or lost, he showed that he had heart, and he is a fighter because he did that.
Yep, I was rooting for him. I'm a fan of his. I was too. I don't think he's, and this is going to sound disrespectful, I don't think he's a phenomenal athlete. Like, when I say athlete, like, for example, I always talked about playing college basketball. There were guys that were 6'10" that could dunk and do backflips. He is a great performer, a great speaker. He is a good enough athlete, but that kind of athlete, he's got heart, but he's just not that. He's not a Brock Lesnar. That's a super athlete. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I give him a ton of credit. I got a few other just random kind of questions that they asked, but just real quick, if there was a Mount, we always hear this in pro wrestling interviews. If there was a Mount Rushmore of 4 greatest fighters that have been through the UFC, who would you pick? 4 top fighters that you would pick. Any weight class. It could be Ronda Rousey could be in there. It could be women. Who are the greatest 4 fighters?
Do they have to be specific to the UFC?
No, they could be in Pride. Any fighting. Like, I wouldn't put Bruce Lee in there. I wouldn't put Chuck Norris in there. But if they've been in some kind of a Bellator, Pride, UFC, where it's a higher level of mixed martial arts competition.
So the top 4 fighters in history. Okay, so Sam Hoger, number 1.
Yes.
Got to put that on 100%. Sam Hoger.
1.
Definitely John Jones.
Okay.
John Jones is the man. Oh my goodness. Demetrius Johnson.
Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that, but okay.
Yeah, he would definitely be up there. And Fedor Emelianenko.
Wow. Okay. So, wow. I mean, yeah, and there's always a lot of these angles, like, you know, people might say Ronda Rousey only because she was a big star. She's not the best fighter. A man like Hulk Hogan is not the best athlete.
Ronda's great. She's wonderful, but she wouldn't be on the route.
Right. But here's how, like in pro wrestling, when you got to say like, who's the best talker, who drew the most money, like CM Punk, he's not a great fighter, but he probably made more money than most badass UFC fighters made. You know what I mean? Because who he was in pro wrestling. So do they draw money? Or are they great talkers? That doesn't matter in UFC as much, obviously, but that does draw people into it. Are they generational talents? You know, that kind of stuff.
You have to remember, like, amongst fighters, like, how much money you made is, like, it's nice if you made money, but, like, we're talking, like, if you're talking fighters and fighting about fighting, I mean, if we were talking about who made the most money and who's the, you know, who's got the obviously then it would be like Conor McGregor, like, who else made a ton of money?
Ronda Rousey probably made a lot of money. I mean, look at her last fight. It wasn't even,
she made like 13 million, but she made a little bit. Then it'd probably be like GSP, Anderson Silva. Who else made a ton of money that I know?
Liddell, Tito.
Liddell, I think, made a ton of money. I don't know Liddell's as well as I know the other people that I spoke about.
Right. But, and that might have been earlier from what it was, but that was the other question. And here's another one too. Let's just say, for example, it could be out of respect, doesn't matter size. If you could choose any one fighter to fight, past or present, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. You could pick Sam Hoger versus Hoist Gracie, Sam Hoger versus Ken Shamrock. You could fight anybody, one mega drawing fight. Who would it be? Sam Hoger versus Brock Lesnar. He's a heavyweight. You know, you got to come up. I mean, you know, there's a lot of.
Oh man, I'm thinking. You got me thinking.
How about Ngannou? I mean, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, nah.
I wouldn't want to fight that guy either.
No, I'd love to fight him. Sure, I mean, I wouldn't mind fighting him, but no, I'm like, if I get to pick, I'm trying to think of like something that would be.
Yeah, you could pick anyway. Like, you know, like Tank Abbott. It doesn't have to be somebody who is, you know, scary.
No, I don't care. No. I mean, it has to be like epic.
I mean, I see the number one for me, and I'm not a mixed martial artist, is like, and it's probably a loss, Hoist Gracie. I mean, he's like, I think anybody.
No, but like fighting Hoist wouldn't do much. No, I mean, I know Hoist, and like, nah. I mean, he's a legend, obviously. That'd be legendary. But like, I mean, I could say all kinds of names, but like, I'm trying to think of something that'd be epic.
You versus Chris Cyborg.
Like Genghis Khan or something like that. Like,
but there's nobody that jumps out at you like, man, I wish I could have got Boss Rutan.
Oh no, I'd beat Boss Rutan.
Those palm strikes are pretty serious. I don't know. I mean, I've talked to him. He's actually a really nice guy too.
He's a cool guy, but he sucks on the ground. He's not that good on the ground.
Nobody pops in your mind. Tito.
I mean, I know Tito too, and I mean, like,
that guy's got a huge fucking head. His head is like gigantic, like physically, like O.J. Simpson. I met him one time in Huntington. Really nice guy too.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like Tito. Oh man, I got
what
you.
About
you know who would be? You know who would be?
No.
Rematch versus Forrest Griffin.
There you go.
That's who it would be. 100%.
All right.
That's who it would be.
And some people in the chat are saying that.
No early stoppage. No early
go
stoppage when he's punching down on me. Oh my gosh, that Forrest Griffin would be the
All right, fair enough. Now, I got a few other questions here, then we're going to open up to the chat.
The fight that I took that I regret the most. Oh wait, do you want me to tell you this?
Yeah. I mean, I think I know what you're going to ask. That's my 13th question. That's okay. Let me get to let me get this because I'm on the same path. I talked about CM Punk. Let me ask you this real quick before I get off the track. There's an organization out of New York called CES. Are you familiar with this organization, Mixed Martial Arts?
I think I've seen it.
Okay. We have been, when Jim and Mr. X worked together, we were on a show that used to be called the Angel Gotti Show. Angel Gotti is the daughter, of John Gotti, the mobster. She has a YouTube channel. Her nephew is John Gotti III, who fought Floyd Mayweather twice and fought in that CES promotion. He's 5-1. I'm curious, do you know anything about him or anything about his career as a mixed martial artist? He does boxing as well. He got knocked out recently. But do you know anything about him as a mixed martial artist?
I know that he fought Floyd. I remember I saw that because Floyd Sr., Floyd Mayweather's father, was my boxing trainer when I was fighting in the UFC. He was the guy that I would go to for training. And every time I was in Vegas, and this was back when Floyd was with Top Rank, way back in the day. But no, I mean, I saw some of his boxing matches, but I can't say that I'm like keeping up with his career, to be honest with you.
He's still out there. He had a fight. He was supposed to fight, I think, Hagler's son within the last year.
Wow.
I know.
That could have been interesting.
So John Gotti III versus
Hagler. Why doesn't John Gotti III fight Jake Paul? I mean, come on, that would be.
We said that to Angel Gotti. So here's what happened. The Hagler kid came out and they brought some, I think it was an Asian kid in. And maybe maybe it was a Mexican kid. I don't know. It's something other than a white kid. I know that because he's a white guy. He's a white Italian guy. And this kid who was virtually unknown knocked him out pretty badly. Credit for getting into it was a boxing match, respect. And of course, since she's a YouTuber, she's the aunt started getting made fun of. But I'm like, at least he had the balls to get in there. I mean, he fucking fought Floyd Mayweather twice. Wait
a second. He got knocked out
pretty badly. Yeah, his last fight.
You see, that's because he's not training with Sam Hoger in Houston, Texas at Real Martial Arts. Actually, it's in Stafford, Texas. He needs to come train at Real Martial Arts with Sam Hoger, and that wouldn't happen.
Now, here's this. Here's something that people may or may not know about you. Your fights in the UFC, you were never submitted, you never tapped out, and you never got knocked out. Is that correct?
Not in the UFC, no, never.
You never got tapped out, you never got knocked out. Yes.
Not in the UFC.
Speaking of the UFC, and I think this is where there's this thing with Rashad Evans. You fought Rashad Evans, and it went to a split decision, and people argue. There's been a lot of arguments, and people who are fans of yours, like me, obviously I know you, so I'm going to be a fan of yours over Rashad Evans. But the split decision, he won, and a lot of people say that you won that fight. Do you think your career would have a different trajectory had they given you that split decision on a fight that you probably won?
I think my career would have gone in a completely different direction had I won that fight. I mean, I do. I think I would have had different opponents. I think I would have had different opportunities. I think some different doors would have opened. But man, Rashad is an awesome fighter.
That guy's a hell of an athlete too. Yeah,
he went on to become a great champion. Man, if there's ever, like I said earlier, if there's ever a fight that I regret accepting was the fight against him, because man, I felt like we could have had such an amazing friendship. But after we fought, sometimes fighting brings people close together. But that was one case where the fighting actually tore that friendship apart. And I was like, man, I really I wish I would. I look back on that fight and I'm like, man, even though yes, I got a lot of accolades for it, a lot of great things happened. And I do think my career would have gone in a completely different direction.
And that leads me into kind of my final question for you, because I was looking up at your after you were out of the UFC, you had a handful of fights outside the UFC, and the last 4 of them, you destroyed everybody. I mean, I don't think your last 4 fights lasted longer than a minute. Granted, they're in different organizations, and so you had your last 4 fights were all wins, and if I'm not mistaken, they were all knockouts. If I'm not, if I'm looking this up correctly. So
I mean, there was some.
Okay, there was some knockouts. What was the decision making to say, you know what, I'm going to hang up the tights. I'm not going to fight. What led you to not fighting anymore? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone's really asked it to me like that. But no, I mean, I'll break it down to you. It's a couple things. Number one, I wasn't getting really great contract offers that really made me want to get up and go fight. Everybody was trying to offer me low money, and it's I know my value and I know what I'm worth, and
sure,
I know, I sell out arenas. When Master P brought the fight event here to Houston, that place was packed. It was sold completely out. Yeah, there was barely room for the ring card girls to squeeze their booties through in order to go ahead, bring their little ring cards up, and there was no. I mean, that place. Every time I fight, it's like a sold out house. And so the thing is that like I haven't been receiving offers that were really worth my time. And so as I was getting older too, it's like I've been doing this so much. Like I've been in the martial arts my whole life. And
Right.
by the grace of God, thank you God, thank you Jesus Christ, thank you the Holy Spirit, that I have like been successful with it, and I've been able to grow and and see like a lot of great things kind of like come from like the martial arts that I've been able to be a part of. And so like I don't know if this makes sense to you, but this will make sense to a lot of people. There comes a time when it's the last time you went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but
it does.
like there comes a time when like you do it so much and like you're doing it, like it gets to a point where you're finally like, all right, this is getting like I remember the rush that I would get like getting ready for a fight. I'd be like,
Right.
oh my gosh, and like I'm getting like little baby goosebumps right now. Like man, and like I remember getting ready for I would have a picture of my opponent, like like when it's a picture, you're looking at the picture and their eyes their eyes don't move, but you're still looking at them like,
right.
I'm to kill you, bro. You don't understand what's about to happen, and like every day you wake up and like like you're staring at this like abyss, and like when you're looking at the abyss, like like you're gonna go into that thing, and like whether or not you live or die, like you don't care whether or not you do, because like as a man it like registers on this like I don't know, like guys who play football tell me they feel this a lot, and guys who wrestle in like high school,
Yes.
like they feel that a lot, and anyway, so every day you're waking up and like I don't know if you guys have ever had this feeling of like when you wake up, you're like you feel kind of like melancholy and like I don't know what I'm gonna do, and like, well, I guess I'm going to work today, and like I gotta like go brush my teeth and go do like whatever, like all the basic stuff, and then and so you go do all those things, but like you don't feel alive. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody.
No, it does, because the only way that I could equate it, and obviously it's not the UFC is the major leagues, and the little way that I could equate it is I played I always talk about it, played basketball at college, and I think a pretty high level, even though it was Division II. After I blew out I got injured. I blew out my knee and broke my nose in the same year.
Oh,
but
man. See what you did? You did the Charles Bukowski. If you guys don't know who this is, look up Charles Bukowski. And he wrote this short little poem called The Writer. And you did it, though. You did The Writer. And what Charles Bukowski says is like, if you're gonna do it, just go listen, because I don't want to butcher. I don't want to like mess it up.
I put a note in the back chat for it, but I mean, just hear me out on this. Like, I had played against Georgetown, which was one of my goals. Against like John Thompson. I knew the team wasn't going to get any better. I knew even if I'm starting, there's really no difference. And I'm like, but I like doing acting and filmmaking, and like I'm more of a part of it. And it's much bigger than a team of, I was always into movies beforehand. It's much bigger than a team of basketball players, 12 basketball players. And this is way more challenging. I used to love getting up and couldn't wait to run, couldn't wait to compete. But once I got injured, I was like, well, why am I doing this? First of all, I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to be a professional basketball player. And number two, this I enjoy. It has more visibility. It stunts. It's about being safe. I got more injuries playing basketball than I did playing football. So I was like, you know what? That's kind of what took me out of it. And then I went a different direction. But that's basically my trajectory. But I guess everybody's path is different. One more quick question. I got one final question, and I'll open it up to the chat and let them ask a few questions. Let's say the Mr. X was a good enough athlete, even though I think I'm pretty good, but I'm not a fighter. And I was in the Ultimate Fighter season 1 with you guys. Okay. Now, the Ultimate season 1's got a ton of viewing. I think everybody fights on the main card or on pay-per-view at some point. Everybody becomes a star, essentially. What is it like if I'm with you guys? Are there tons of women throwing themselves at you? Is there partying? What is happening? Like, could you go to a fight in Vegas for one of your buddies or one of the guys that you train with? I mean, what is it like? Let me see through your eyes. Not necessarily you, but I mean, how does that work? You're a television star, plus you're an athlete. I mean, you're both essentially, without question. How does that work? I mean, is it just partying? Do you turn into Ric Flair? What's going on?
No, so like whenever so one of the things that like I always do is like, even though like I had like the the starlight on me, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody knew who I was. Like when I played my character in fighting, I was always loud and brash and like, trying to troll and instigate and curry the fires to get people to like tune in and watch me, because you know who did it better than me? It was this guy named Floyd Mayweather. He made people not like him so much that they still to this day have to tune in to try to watch.
And that's the weird thing is on the reality show, they pegged you as a dick, and you're like completely the opposite of that. Like they made you like an instigator dick almost.
No. Let's not confuse things. When I'm in competition mode, when I'm competing against somebody,
okay,
all gloves are off. Like once we're in competition, I'm a dick. I am a dick. Like dick. Like
makes sense.
And so like and so because like when I compete, like you can ask anyone who's ever competed against me, like once I get into serious competition mode, I don't care. I'll do anything. And I'm like vicious. I'm like a piranha. I'm like,
yep.
Like not like a baby piranha, like the big one.
I understand. Yep. You'll take your head off if you have an opportunity. Yes.
And so like, you know, I'm constantly like, oh, like, but once I'm done with the competition, I'm like, that's that, you know, like hopefully it went well, hopefully I won. But when you meet me person to person, if we're not like competing or like going against each other for something, then like I don't like it's too much work to be in competition mode 24 hours a day. You know?
Makes sense.
And
yes.
And if you are, you're like an Elon Musk or like a Dana White, you know, or like a you know, anyone who's like okay, so this guy Kevin O'Leary mentioned that this thing called, or Steve Jobs, they mentioned these people who like there's signal and there's noise.
I saw that video today. That's so weird that you say that.
Oh wow! And so
I saw that today.
So like according to this argument, it's like noise is all the stuff in the background that doesn't matter, like in reference to what you're trying
like
to achieve.
haters. Yeah.
And signal is all of the things that are gonna like help you get to where you want to get to. You want to focus. The people who, from what I understand, are most successful. You guys want some wisdom? Want some wisdom?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
After I tell you this, you cannot unhear what I say. Are you sure you want me to tell you this?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, everybody. You're welcome. You're going to be ahead of most of the people in the world after I tell you this. If you want to be rich, be diligent.
Makes sense, yeah.
Let that sink in. And be honest with yourself. Have you been diligent about the things that you said you wanted to get rich doing, or have you kind of like pussyfooted around it and messed around? So now here's where we start making sense of it. So when I'm in fight mode, anything that doesn't deal with fighting or getting underneath the skin or like trying to make like things happen so that people get thrown off balance, I'm in war mode. And so like once I'm done with that though, like I'm not Steve Jobs, I'm not Elon Musk, I'm not Donald Trump, I'm not these guys who can keep like that 100% focus on signal, because when you're focused on signal, you inevitably become a dick, because like anything that is not related to like what you're trying to achieve
right
is a distraction. And not only is it a distraction, but it kind of annoys you. And when it annoys you, you start snapping at it, so then you can focus on the signal. I don't know if this makes sense.
No, it 100% makes sense. I was discussing this today when I was going to IKEA with my girlfriend, because we have haters that try to do lawsuits and all this stuff against us, and it takes me away from doing filmmaking. I used to tell Jim this. All we got to do is focus on your stuff. By you focusing on internet stuff, that's taking away from you being funny or entertaining or informative. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of talent. So I used to tell him that all the time. And by the way, to have 100% signal, you got to be like autistic or something like that. Not many people.
You have to be Elon Musk. You have to be Trump. You have to be Jobs. You have to be one of those people who can just like block out everything, focus exclusively. Or Dana White's another person who's super like, they focus. And then anything that deviates them from their focus, people think that Dana White is a jerk. And I'm like, no. He's not a jerk. The thing you're failing to understand is that Dana White is honest. And he will tell you exactly what he thinks with no filter and just spit it out and let you have it. And the thing is that the majority of the people that you talk to, let's be honest about it, the majority of the people that we talk to cannot take honesty for honesty's sake. They can like, you tell somebody something that's real true. Like if a fat person goes, am I fat? And you go, yeah, you're fat. What are you asking me that for? Come on. And you say that to them, all of a sudden, like, he's a jerk. He's a this. Or like if a fighter asks Dana, what do you think of my last fight? And it sucked. He'll be like, listen, your fight sucked. If you keep that shit up, we're gonna get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's like, it's not that it's a boss mindset, but I think like when Mr. What did he call himself? The guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Personality, Mr.
The guy who owned the Mavericks,
the bald guy. No, not
Kevin
Mark
O'Leary.
Cuban. Kevin O'Leary. When Kevin O'Leary said like Kevin O'Leary was the guy who I heard talk about signal versus noise.
Yeah, because he was talking to Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs was being a dick to him, and he's a dick.
Yeah, and so Kevin O'Leary really opened up my mind when he said that, because it's like, if you're so focused on this thing and anything that comes in as a nuisance to, you're going to snap at them so you can focus back on what you're focused on. It's like a pit bull that has its teeth sunk into your calf, and when you're trying to run, and it's ripping your calf off, and it's not going to let it go. Does that make sense?
No, 100%, because I get into situations where that you talk about the noise versus the signal, and the noise is the bad stuff, where, you know, something silly. Yeah, it could be a family member that distracts you. You're like,
everybody,
I got to get this person out of my life to be able to move forward.
Yeah, and there's a great book. It's called Deep Work. It's by Cal Newport. Most of you guys don't have time to sit there and actually turn the page. It's a big book. But if you sit there and audio book it, and like if you get like the $19 subscription on YouTube, you can listen to like 1 billion audiobooks. Look up the audiobook called Deep Work. And it talks about like the mechanics of like how it becomes that. And mind you, I went through it once, and like I got to go through it like a couple more times just to get it, because it takes you deep into like the trenches and the underwater caves of like figuring out how to like unlock your brain, so you go into that place where you're like Neo when he was in the Matrix. It's just this white room where it's like,
that's right. There you go. Well, let's do this because I know the chat is getting antsy. If you got some rapid fire questions to ask Sam, I know that people have been asking him throughout the show. Just give me some quick questions. Like you guys are saying, what about, I think some of the questions you guys asked, now they're going to hear this in about 10 seconds. I've already asked, but, ask them now or forever hold your peace, because we have gotten, this man's got other things to do. What's your shoe size?
I'm a 14. Why?
14 shoe size. They're just going to ask you some random questions. Is he single? It says Ace's mama.
Very single, very single. Always. I try to stay single. It's too, like, you have to, like, whenever you choose to partner up with someone, you have to be very serious about that, because you want to take care of that person when you're with them. It really, like, grow them into, like, everything they can be. And so that
now, here's the thing about this lady here, Ace's mama. She lives in California. She's the mama of that dog whose name is Ace. She loves animals. But this man here, Ace's mama, is an athlete. This isn't Kenny Hines. She was talking to some guy who was this complete loser on YouTube at one point. She was smart enough but she, you are a UFC veteran. You're an athlete. Kenny Hines is a little pussy. So, I mean, that's a completely. So, anyways, how much? This is some random. How much have brand deals changed since your glory days? I mean, I don't know what that means, but.
So the brand deals have gotten bigger in the capacity because the UFC is a bigger sport now, but they have also become more challenged because unless you pay the fee to be an official sponsor in the UFC, they won't let you wear the stuff, and they won't let you like display your brand, from what I understand.
Okay, and then some other ones here. What would you change from training starting out as of training now? Okay,
so if I was going to start training right now, what would I change?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing you want to change if you're going to be serious about training is you want to change your sleep schedule. You want to make sure that you can wake up early in the morning. And like, if you guys recall, I don't know if you guys remember Mike Tyson back when he was like on top of the world. He would wake up early in the morning, and then he would start training early in the morning. And the reason why you want to do that is because once the workday gets started, or as we say, the bank opens and money can be made, if you're not doing things to make money, you're wasting your time during the day, because you need to gather the resources that you can gather throughout the day in order to go ahead and try to like obviously live a better life. But those hours between like 4:30 or 4 and like 9 in the morning when the bank opens, or 8 or 9 whenever you get to work, those key hours beforehand, you want to coordinate your sleep schedule so you wake up right around that time. You want to go to bed by like 8 or 9, and you want to wake up at like 4 or 5, And then you want to have a structured plan on how you're going to approach those 4 hours. So typically the thing that I recommend, you guys want to know how to wake up like a fighter? You want to try this?
Yes. I mean, here's the thing with me. I always like to get everything done. And then after these shows, the last hour and a half, the gym's open, I go at night. I'm the complete opposite. Like this. So I shut the gym down. That's what I like to do. Because I'm not an early riser.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so here's a few other questions coming in real quick. But that's where else do I say it? Do you have any pets?
You know what? I've had pets my whole life, but not in this season. I don't have any pets. You know, I had a dog. I had Weimaraner named Argo, a little hamster named Juliet when I was a little kid, a little fish. You know, I had a pit bull at one point.
Okay, and then there was some other one. This is a good question from Mean Green. Do you have trouble adapting training from Panama to Alaska? That's a good question because one's Central America in hot area, one's freezing. Maybe you are training at that point, right?
So I'm about to give you guys some game. It doesn't matter where you live. You're going to realize this once I tell it to you. When you find out that you're living, no matter where you live, everybody's doing the same thing every single day. And now watch, this is what it is. You wake up in a containment unit, which is your room or your house or whatever. Then you get up and you go to another containment unit, which is your car, to drive to another containment unit, which is either your job or the gym or whatever, to get back in the containment unit of your car, to get back to go into another containment unit, which is your gym, to get into like your bed. So it's like all we do all day is we go from like these perfectly manicured environments of containment unit to containment unit, and you're never outside really experiencing, like, I don't know how many of us are really out there every single day for hours on end, really experiencing the weather. But I mean, you'll find that no matter where you are, you're constantly going from one containment unit to the next, and you're never really experiencing life outside of those perfectly manicured containment units. So then whenever you start to see that and understand that, and see that, like, even people nowadays, they don't even really talk to each other. They do this all day, you know, and they don't like, let's be honest. When was the last time you had a meaningful conversation with someone that lasted a long time, that really felt like it moved the needle in your life? The majority of our conversations are little tweets and little like text messages, like, okay, see you soon, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as you guys coordinate, you go to another containment unit. So like, it doesn't matter where you live in the world. All you're doing, you'll find that the majority of people, the majority of the time that you spend there, you're not really experiencing the place. All you're doing is going from one containment unit to the next. And then at the end of the day, the thing that you find is that you really live the same day multiple times over and over and over again.
That's a good point. I try. I mean, obviously, I'm on here talking, 6 to 10 hours a week, but sometimes I'm just talking alone. It's like I'm talking to the abyss, but I get a chance to chat with these people or you or other things. But I give you an example. Like today, I was out and about, and I saw a lady with a knee brace, and it reminded me when I blew out my knee. And I walked up to her and I said, "I'm having deja vu. How's your leg doing? Did you blow out your knee?" And her and I had like a 15-minute conversation in the parking lot about her leg. And just so I try to do that for sure as much. And I'm not maybe that's because we're Gen X and we're a different generation than some of these younger kids, but I try to do what you're saying and look people in the eye and go to workout classes and do things in person. And we even got, me and my girlfriend got a thing that's called like LA, everything about LA. And we're like, okay, I've never been to this place. I've never done this in LA. And so let's physically get out and go do things. And I think I've been doing that when I got above, 40, I feel like I'm running out of time sometimes.
And I think one of the things that like we end up, like the mistake that we end up making is that, all right, you want some more wisdom?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Humans tend to live 27,375 days in a full life. Out of those 27,375 days, so let's make it a round number, like 27,000. You're going to sleep 1/3 of those days off, assuming you sleep 8 hours. So that only leaves you, like 18,000 days left.
Yep.
Then out of those 18,000 days left, you're going to work another 9,000 of those days off, assuming you work an 8-hour job. Some work more, some work less. So that means you really have 9,000 days worth of time to pursue whatever your purpose is within your given season. And the thing is a lot of us, we give away our youth and we give away the time. Like our body works right now. There's going to come a time when our bodies are old and decrepit and they don't work, and you're forced to sit down and you can't do anything. So why wouldn't you spend that time inside a containment unit because you really can't do anything. But right now, our bodies work. We should be outside living, meeting people, engaged, getting out there as much as we can, because here's the piece of wisdom that I'm going to hit you with. Ready?
Yep.
Everything in life, and I need everybody who's listening to this, guys, look at me. Every one of you who's listening to this, listen to me. Everything in life is literally designed to expire. Let that sink in.
That's right.
Other than the love of God, and that's even assuming you believe, but everything in life is designed to expire. We will all go back to dust. So you are literally surrounded by dust when you think about it. So then once you realize that, you'll see the sum total value of most things is pretty close to zero, other than the love of God and the experiences that he lets you do in this life. But we're wasting our experiences doing this, typing, texting, typing, not living. Think about that.
That's right. I mean, what you said is something I heard once again playing college basketball, but in a different light. They said that it was 8 times 3 is what they called it. So there's 24 hours in a day, and it was eight hours sleeping, 8 hours working, and what are you going to get done in those last 8 hours? And that depends on how your life is going to go. So in some of that time, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to eat. So how wisely, that's exactly what you said, but over the span of a life, it's the same thing. So you're absolutely, you got to live the life to the fullest. But well, good. I think we answered every question. You got anything to promote? What else you got going on these days?
I make music. If you guys would like to check out my music, I would really appreciate that. My artist name is Diesel Walker, like Vin Diesel, Paul Walker. Think like Fast and Furious if you ever can't remember. Diesel Walker. Look that up, please. And then I have a YouTube channel, the Real Martial Arts YouTube channel, where I teach martial arts on there if you guys would like to learn. I haven't put a video up there in a while because I've been working a lot. I have a security company that we do high-end security. If you guys ever need security in the Texas area, it's Paragon Security Services with my partner, Mark Elliott. And I'm working with my friend's pest control company that is taken over pretty quickly. If you ever get a chance to check it out, it's Termite Watkins Pest Control. He has me in the sales department helping out over there, because I finished my MBA at St. Ambrose, and I've been trying to that. Well, I mean, I'm not. I don't bring it up unless somebody asks me, and so we're building out the commercial side of that company, and it's exciting. But man, guys, I'm telling you, remember, even with all the stuff that I'm doing, the reason I'm trying to do so much in this season is because I realize everything is like right now, this is expiring. This time is expiring before it's gone. And when it's gone, like we don't get it back. And not only do we not get it back, but we're on a constant trajectory going down. Oh, and I got an app coming out here soon.
Okay, tell me about
it. That keeps track of what day you are on, and it counts down until the day you're supposed to die. And then if you make it past the day you're supposed to die, but like listen to it, because when you look at when you look here, you want me to show it to you? Well,
yeah. I want to see it.
I'm gonna wait till I release. I'll show it to you private.
Okay,
but
show it to me when you can.
The thing is like it keeps whenever you look at that number, you're looking at how much time you got left. And it's like, you remember that was that TV show where they were 24, where they were constantly counting down?
I got my SAG card on 24.
Okay, so then it's doing that, and you're looking at it all the time. And the thing that it does is it reminds you you're blessed by God to have the life and breath that you have right now. So use it and do some good with it before everything expires. Don't give your life away for paper that means less than nothing, because you can't do anything with it because you're surrounded by dust. Try to live as much as you can, because the only thing guaranteed in life is that everything around you, everything is literally designed to expire. So you know the way that you found a sucker?
What? Explain it. What? No, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but you tell me.
Whenever somebody goes, oh man, look, I got this thing, this team, this group, this job, this thing, this is forever, man. This is going to be forever.
Right.
Nothing is forever. It's literally designed to expire. And say and there's going to come a time when you're no longer interested in it. Like you only have so many seasons of life. And the thing about it is in each season, you have to gather wisdom within each one of those seasons in order for you to go into the next season and be successful. And how to get dressed and how to use the restroom, etc.
Sure.
And then you go into the next season and you're trying to learn how to behave in school, how not to piss off your teachers, how to do the right thing. Then you go to the next season. Now you're trying to figure out who you are. So you are pissing off your parents and your teacher. Then you go to the next season, and then you end up like you're in college and you're trying to see where you're going to end up in the workforce. But if you're in college and you're still trying to figure out how to like behave around people, then what life does is like it keeps hitting you with the stick over and over again until you learn the lesson. Like, do you know the guy? Like, for example, do you remember some of the guys that ended up in detention at school?
Yes.
And then they kept ending up in detention, and then detention became suspension, which became expulsion for some of them, which ended up being juvenile hall, and then ended up being jail. And then, it's like you get a chance to learn these lessons. And the thing that we do is we attach ourselves to things that are temporary, thinking that they're forever, when literally nothing is forever.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you spending the time with me, coming on here. You didn't have to do this, but it's something I've been thinking about for a number of years. And I told you a long time ago, you and I spoke on the phone a couple years ago, and I was like, I really want to have you on. But speaking of, there's just a lot of negative people on YouTube, and they don't have the mindset of the thing that you just explained. Like being goal oriented, or, hey, I got to get punched in the face and get back up, or wake up at 4:00 in the morning, or be working out I'm getting made fun of for doing Pilates reform in order to be able to be more flexible like that. I'm like, you should be doing Pilates reform so I'm the only man in there, so I could be more flexible and have a stronger core. Like, why is that something to make fun of at age 47? I think more people should be doing that at 47. But there's a lot of people that are upset with their life for one reason or another. And I'm not making fun of them, but you got to get out there and do it and not hide. That's the bottom line. So that's it.
So what I think it is like people have this like very like this intense fear of other people's like perspective. Like then here's something else. I'll give it to you. Whenever you give the weight of what you imagine that somebody else will think about you for doing something that is going to help you get better, and whenever you give your perceived thought of what their opinion of you might be, that becomes a jail cell for a lot of people.
That's a good point.
The problem with that jail cell is that you end up caring so much about this expiring being that is standing over there that really like they should have no effect on your life, because the truth is like, this is your life. Like, this is your life. And like the worst thing you can do is let your thought about what you think somebody else might think about what you're going to do stop you from pursuing something that'll do good for you. Like, you want to talk to that girl? Talk to that girl. Who cares if she's like, throws, doesn't, thinks, says something foolish or tries to like, dismiss you in some type of way. You want to go for that job? Go for the job. You want to take your shot at like making something happen? Take your shot. Because
if I see Brock Lesnar in an airport, do I want to double leg him and try to take him down?
Single leg.
That would be really
That's a big guy. That's a big guy. But no. Don't. I wouldn't. I mean, God bless your heart. I don't like be wise.
I don't want to go to the hospital.
Brock is no joke. Brock
I
is
know.
tough.
I know it.
Oh man.
That would be an interesting fight. I mean, that guy, if he could pass a drug test. But anyway, but I appreciate it. I know people are saying online that you got some cash apps. I don't know if you want to check them later or whatever.
Man. Guys, thank you so much. If you guys send me anything, I really appreciate that.
There it is.
Thank you. And like, and before I leave, can I say thank you to a couple people?
Yeah, please go ahead.
First and foremost, God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, I want to thank them for the grace, mercy, and love of letting me be here. I want to thank my mother and my father, for obviously all the sacrifices that they made to allow me to be here. I want to thank my sensei, Yoshihiro Okamoto from Okamoto's Karate up in Alaska, over there on Airline Avenue. I want to thank Ted Stickle, my first jiu-jitsu coach, who I trained under in Alaska as a kid. I want to thank Chris Seifert, my jiu-jitsu coach over in Louisiana State University, when I was over there training and I first started fighting on the underground, as well as Honi Salas, Marco, Christian Rothamel, all the people who were a part of that, Russell Jones, from Russell Jones Kickboxing in Baton Rouge. I want to thank LSU. I want to thank St. Ambrose. I want to thank Pat Militich. I want to thank all my friends and members of G2. Crazy. I want to thank Bullet, Crazy's name is Justin Brown. Bullet, who's Brian Bressler, and Brandon Adamson, the G2s who were together with me through my experience over at Militich. I want to thank all of my girlfriends that I have dated. I've dated some of the most beautiful, amazing, wonderful girls in the world. I really want to thank you for all the support and all the love and all the, even though we never ended up married, and some of them are like married now, they have families. I'm so happy for them. But I want to thank them for their support and their love and their care and everything they contributed to my success during those seasons. I want to thank Zulfi Ahmed from Bushiban Martial Arts. He's my mentor in reference to like martial arts and how to run a school. Like, if you ever want to learn how to run a school, look up Zulfi Ahmed from Bushiban, Bushiban. Also, I want to thank everyone who's helped me out. All the Diesel Walker fans. I want to thank you guys. I think we got like, oh my gosh, I think everyone.
Diesel Walker has been growing, from what I hear. It's getting bigger and bigger. The movement of the Diesel Walker. I heard about this.
It's coming along. It's fun. And then I want to thank all my students of Real Martial Arts. I want to thank Leroy Franklin from Total Performance Fitness over in Stafford, and man, all of the people who were a part of this. I really Joe Cavallero. I want to thank Dana White. I want to thank the Petitas for all the sacrifices that they made to help the sport become what it is. Like, and most of all, thank you, God, for everything you've allowed me to do.
There it is. There you went through
if
it
you guys
all.
Want to follow me, I'm Sam Hoger 2 on Instagram because Sam Hoger 1 got hacked. So
okay, well, I'm gonna put it up.
Pandemic. So Sam Hoger 2, and then if you guys would like to come train with me, if you're ever in the Houston area, I'd love to have you come. I'm over at Real Martial Arts over in Stafford, 711 Avenue E at Total Performance Fitness. And man, guys, thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. And like,
thank you for being. Let me say this too. Thank you to you because you're. I mean, you probably know this about yourself, but it should be said publicly because you're a humble guy. But like Sam's the kind of guy that he'll do a show for the Mr. X. If I'm having a screening for a movie he's not even in, he'll show up and support if he's in town. I mean, that's the kind of guy. You always hear like, yeah, we'll do it later. Yeah. Now this guy's all out there and he's always doing it. And that's why you got a lot of friends and a lot of people that care about you, all over the country. That's why people know you. So I really appreciate it being here with me today and being my friend too. That's a big deal. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'll catch up with you sometime after.
One last thing, guys, this is the last thing I'm going to tell you guys. If you guys do not know the point of life, this is the point of life. Point of life is to seek wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is and what is not true.
There it is.
All wisdom starts with the fear of the Lord. Remember that. Seek wisdom. You know the point of life. You're right now ahead of 99% of people in the world who could not tell you what the point of life is. You know it now. Use that. Go with God.
Thank you, Sam. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to kick you from the studio. I'll talk to you soon. Be safe. God bless. He's out of here. There he is. There's Sam Hoger, UFC vet, a dear personal friend of the Mr. X. Man, he laid it down. I mean, see, that's what I needed. I think that was more for me than anybody else because that's about as positive as you could get. This is a guy who's, we've heard from people who I only wanted to make it to indoor football and this and that. And that's great if you did. This guy made it to the major leagues. He won in the major leagues. He's supportive. He's respectful. And I'm happy that he would be able to do this. I hadn't talked to him for a little while. It was nice to get back in touch with him. I was like, dude, I'd love to have you on the show. Plus, I might be able to work with you in this new Mr. X movie that's coming up. There was one time too where I had a job that they were offering to me. And since Sam had been such a great friend of mine, I was like, hey, I can't do it. You should hire this guy. And they called me. And I think they wanted me to drive like 70 miles, which I didn't want to do. But Sam booked it, and they just said, this guy's fucking phenomenal. So, and he is, and he always has been. So I appreciate it. You can go and check out a lot of Sam Hoger fights. The UFC ones are pretty much not on the internet, but, some of those later era ones where he's just destroying people are out there. And, the guy's really a lot more than just a mixed martial artist. I mean, the guy's got his hands into everything. I mean, he doesn't care. He'll tell you he's got a pest control company. He's got a security company. I wish I told him, if you were out here, because he's not in LA anymore, obviously he's in Houston. If you were out here when we had that screening, I would have loved to have you at that screening we had, because I guarantee you they wouldn't have. You think I'm big, and I've been around some of the people like Dana Nicole and something like that. You can see what that guy looks like. His hands are huge. Anyway, thank you to everybody who gave a little something to Sam. I'm probably going to hook him up on a little something too, because he didn't have to do this, but I just want to show, my respect, because I don't have too many guests like that. I mean, we have Johnny Yarbrough and people every once in a while, but he's a person I've thought about having on a long time. And I wanted to ask, I never knew after all these years why he didn't fight anymore. And I told him, I said, I'm going to ask you some tough questions. I wasn't going to ask him anything, like that would be embarrassing to him, that would, turn him into a prop or anything like that. And that wasn't my goal. My goal was, to hear some things positive, and that does a tremendous. See, hey, Leanne, do you see that? That's the kind of people that I have in my life. That's the kind of people that I want in my life, that are positive like that. People who are getting up at 4 a.m. to work out and not shit talking stuff that's happened 10 years ago. So, Johnny, speaking of recent people and recent friends, let me send out this link to Johnny Yarbrough. I still got a ton of news and some other stuff. Haters coming in the chat saying, oh, are 250 people watching this? Fucking A. And there's going to be a lot more. I mean, this guy was on a huge, like, Jim knew more about this guy. I remember when I was talking to Jim I said, you know Sam Hoger? I know that Jim's a big UFC fan. Oh, yeah. He talked all about it. Yeah. Hold on, Johnny. Johnny's got some news. And Johnny, I think, has got a show tomorrow, too. And the Mr. X may try to make it out sometime this weekend to the Orange County Fair. I don't know if that's going to happen this weekend or not, but if it does, there will be a camera with the Mr. X. Johnny, that's been sent over to you. Thank you, Sam Hoger, for coming aboard and spending. I thought he was going to be here for like 25 minutes, and he ended up being here, and I tried to get as many questions as I could. Look at Rainbow Melon changing her avatar, trying to be cute, trying to get somebody up there. Look at Ace's mama, trying to find a new boyfriend. I threw Ace's mom underneath the bus a little bit, but I hope she knows I was joking. Mr. X, just the beginning. No, you are not blocked. We could see you. So 258 strong here, Mr. X News Network. Johnny, you got that sent out to you. Let's go over the few of the Mr. X cash apps. We'll start with Rainbow Melon. There she is, trying to be cute. It's hot out there. So she got to wear a sleeveless shirt. There she is, coming in a second time, 1,000 subs. That's right. Mr. X has somehow managed, and the haters are saying it's not real, to get it over to 1,000 subs. But people are coming in. That's right. Thank you to Texas Granny for making that. Very nice. Thank you, Rainbow Melon. I like money. I'm broke. And now we see Mean Green sending in her donation to the casino. To the Mr. X. Sorry about that. And then who else is it? Barbara Buffalo. Congrats on 1,000 subs. She has contributed $2 to the casino fund. Texas Granny. She always contributes a lot. See, I told you guys, there's a difference between somebody who's a moderator and a contributor and somebody who's just a hater all day. Buster Brandemus, did you get my message? I told you I wouldn't spend more than a minute on you, and I'm not going to. Here's somebody I want to spend a lot of time with, and I have, but through shows, it's Miss Texas. $20. Bang! And here's somebody else. Rainbow Melon back again, another $2. By the way, great co-host today, Amanda from Australia. There she is, $30.99. I don't know what that is in the US dollars, but we'll take it. And Amanda, don't let me forget, we talked about the quokka. I have a new friend that I would like to meet. This new friend is not an Australian animal. I think he's a South American animal, but we will talk about him later. Okay. Miss Texas coming back to her. There she is, $10. She's back. And of course, the last but not least, the 10th one is Miss Texas. Texas Granny. She's back, $9.99. And guess who else is back? A man, and also well-known athlete, a man that transcends the internet and the YouTube. That man is Johnny Yarbrough. There he is. What's up, Johnny? How you feeling? Are you there? You're muted. No, I can't hear you. Turn it on, monkey. Thank you guys for checking out here with Sam. Johnny's getting his audio figured out. I'm going to come back up while Johnny, I think, he'll be back. Well, he'll be back, and then we'll bring him back up. Johnny's got some information, stuff that he wants to disseminate, since we have a fairly large audience here, and everybody's here, he will disseminate whatever he wants to share here on Mr. X News Network here Friday night. No competitions, the way we like it. We're not competing against anybody else. We're not going on live against everybody. We always went on live at this time. So we're worried about us. That's how you do it. Now, speaking of us, let me talk about some close, dear friends of the Mr. X who came in on the Cash App. And Spanky says, in memory of the OTT, $30. He loves the OTT. Jeremy M., I also got your message too there on Wednesday. He came in $5. Thank you for that. Johnny's coming back up. Thank you, Spanky. Maybe one day there'll be a Mr. X OTT. You never know. You never really know. Maybe not.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you much better. Yes.
All right, cool. I had to go back out and reboot my computer. Sorry about that, Mr. X.
Okay, no problem. You're here. Hold on. Let me send this to Sam because he wants it. Okay, I'm gonna send him a little something there. Okay, he's done. Let me read the last few, Johnny, and then we'll get to your scenario there, the situation, all the stuff that's craziness. Give me one more second. I'm almost there.
Okay.
So it's good. Everything's going okay with you? I mean, you look pretty well.
Thank you. Everything's going well. We went out yesterday and we had our thing with the family and everything. And
okay, well, we're going to get into that right now here in a second after I get into this. Congrats on 1,000 subs. It's Texas Granny. It's $25. There's a lady who doesn't want to be named who came in the other day, $10. That was on the 21st. Thank you to her last name. I'm going to say her last name starts with an M. She knows who she is. Thank you so much for that. I think we got through everything, Johnny, so we can continue. Oh, so what's up with yesterday?
So yesterday we went to the place where we went to go see him at his final resting and stuff like that. And I am going to show a picture on your show today because I feel like it has to be done.
Okay, it's up to you.
All you beautiful people have helped me and helped PZ get this done.
Right.
And so I'm going to show you right now. This is where we went yesterday to put my son final to sleep. Right here. Okay. And if you can see, it says in the memory of Jarrett Yarbrough and stuff like that. That's all I'm going to show right now because it does have the address on there and the phone number.
So just to kind of get this clear, basically you're saying yesterday they had a funeral proceeding for your son. And I heard that there were some very nice people from this show that sent in flowers. I don't know if that's public or not, but I heard it was a nice celebration of life. Yes, I heard you said a few words, maybe even more than a few words. I mean, this is your forum. I'm not trying to do this for content. I'm not asking you to show anything, but you could explain because we got all the audience here, like anything you want or don't want to. It's up to you. So what do you want? What do you got to say?
So I just want to say that yesterday was a beautiful thing because everybody in the family, everybody that was outside the family, they knew who I was. They remember who I was. Sure. And then one lady accidentally called me Jared. I said, no, I'm Johnny. I'm not Jared. Jared's passed on.
Sure.
And she gave me a big old hug and everybody was just being really, really warmful and really grateful. I was grateful for them. They gave me hugs. There was people that I didn't even know that was giving me hugs, and everybody clapped when I read the poem about Jared and stuff like that. But it was very, very beautiful, and it was amazing. And hold on, let me go get something else I want to show that everybody else helped out with too. Hold on.
Now there is a rumor going around. I don't know who started this rumor, but I don't know if PZ could hear me, but PZ was somehow having a collection plate go around the room and the money went missing. I don't know if that's true or not.
No. Okay. And this is part of the flowers and the baby whatever this shit's called here, baby something.
That's nice. Very nice.
This is what some of the flower we got so, and we had enough money. We had enough money to get flowers, and we had enough money to get sodas and stuff like that. So, and these are the flowers that Texas Granny, Barbara Buffalo, and Mean Green helped get right here.
Okay.
But these are just part of the flowers. There were a lot more, and a lot of people took a lot more home with them.
That's very, very, very nice. Yeah. So that sounds, so what did, there's been a lot of rumors about this. When it ended up happening with like the final remains, was it cremation or how did that work?
The final remains went to cremate. He's being cremated.
Okay.
And so we're going to get some of his ashes. I'm going to get some of his ashes, and I'm gonna wear them around my neck. I'm gonna wear it around my neck as a necklace. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's so everybody gets some of that, like we've seen with some of these other people that have been, they've had family members' ashes, and we've gone through that, with a handful of different people in the past.
Yeah, but I won't lose mine. I won't lose
say, don't lose yours at some kind of shelter in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I got a special. If I don't wear it around my necklace, I got a special place where I'm going to put it in this little cabinet that I have. And me and PVZ installed a disco ball light up in there and everything. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to put it back. And let me show you something else, Mr. X, that I got. Hold on.
Okay, bring it up. This is like show and tell, like me the other day with all the stuff that I got Thrift-a-Palooza.
Mr. X, this is a little bit bigger, so you might want to bring me. Look, this is a bigger picture of him. This is a bigger picture of him that Wendy gave me and stuff like that.
Wow. That's a nice, like a program almost. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's going to go on my wall. That's going to go on my wall above this cabinet that I have, and that's going to be nothing about Jarrett in that cabinet.
Okay. Well, there you go. Wow. Unbelievable. So that's, I mean, this has been going on for, I want to say
3 weeks.
Like 3 weeks. Yeah. And, this is kind of, I guess, the end of, go ahead.
And I got some more good news too. In about 2 more weeks, we're going to get the list of names where my son's organs went to.
Okay. God, I didn't think that they would give that to you, but that's interesting that they are.
Yep.
God, the bigger question would be, would you be able to speak with any of those people in the future?
I don't know. I don't know, Mr. X. I really don't know the ins and outs about that. Shelly only told me that we're in 2 more weeks. We're going to get the names where my son's heart went to, and where his cornea, not the whole eyeball, but the part of his eye,
the cornea,
went to, and there's like 4 other parts that went. Organs that went to other people also. 6 individual surgeons came in on Monday morning, because Sunday night was the last night that we did the walkthrough with them, and then they were there waiting to get all the organs that people needed, and they flew it from different countries, different of the part of the United States, and came and got his organs, and then he went out and back to where they were going and put them in other people's bodies and stuff like that.
Wow. Unreal. Well, Ace's mama, a lot of people are wishing you well. That was very nice of those ladies to send over flowers, and it's all how was PZ doing during the whole situation?
Oh, PZ did really good. He filmed the whole thing that when I was talking. We're trying to extract it so we can put it on the show. But I think he's having a hard problem of getting that done. I'm going to help him out and see what I can do. I don't know. We really want to show the filming on my channel to show what we did and stuff like that. But we're having a hard time getting it extracted.
Yeah, if it's over 200 megabytes, you can't put it in the StreamYard, or you could put it on a desktop and present it. But sometimes the file could be too big. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just to upload it to Google Drive, which is free to do. It's like a cloud. And then Google Drive has a player, and then you could just play it. Or put it on a private YouTube link that nobody can see on your channel, so it's not public at all. And then you play it on, like upload it directly, but keep it private, and then you just play it when you want to. Or play whatever parts you want to live on your show from that link. I mean, there's 2 different ways you could do it. It's kind of the same thing, but there you go.
Yeah.
What else you got coming up this week? Or weekend, really, now that we're here?
Yeah, we're on the weekend now. I'm gonna go live probably tomorrow and
Okay.
Sunday, and I'm gonna give people a 2-for-1 banger.
All right, good.
Oh, and I want everybody to please listen. His name is Descent Metal Mike. Descent Metal Mike. I'm going to have an interview with him. He's supposed to call me when he goes on his next break from work because he works and stuff like that. And so hopefully we'll get him to interview and stuff like that, Mr. X. So
Descent Metal Mike. Hopefully I have it spelled correctly, but he's coming up on Johnny's show. So I don't know, obviously San Diego Comic-Con's going on this weekend. I'm not going to that, but I'm thinking one of the days, maybe either Saturday or Sunday. And I don't know if I'm going to go out there during the day because I know it's hot, but one of the days I'm thinking about going out to the Orange County Fair. So
yeah, you should go.
I don't know what day I'm going to do it. And it's not about hiding or anything like that. It's going to be like a last minute decision. But I think you got to buy the tickets online. I don't think you go up and get them directly. So, how many fairs can we have? Well, as many as I could go to. Have you ever
been to the Sacramento State Fair, California State Fair?
Never been up to Sacramento. I've been to Orange County years ago, but never been to Sacramento. I've never been further north than Sam Simeon, where the Hearst Castle is, like going up the PCH. And then the only other further north area that I've been to is the California side of Lake Tahoe. But that was only because I was visiting Jim in Reno, and I just went over to the California side and then came back. So I've never been to San Francisco or any of those places.
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp, he is here. He says, my funeral is already paid for. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyatt Earp, for being kind, Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, he's in the house. He's back. So
yeah.
Oh, Johnny, there's so many crazy things going on. So we had
right?
Sam Hoger. I mean, now we have, you coming up, and then the shows this weekend. And just a lot of stuff going on. 265 watching live. And we're already almost 2 hours in. I haven't even touched any of my news yet.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Yeah. It's craziness. And what speaking of all this, when do you head back to the doctors? When's the next doctor's visit?
Okay, so my next doctor visit is for the pre-op pre-ops final to tell me I'm ready for surgery, and August 11th is when I go in to have my surgery.
Okay, that's the gallbladder surgery.
The gallbladder surgery, yes.
And then you're going to work your way back to getting the dentures eventually, right?
Oh yeah, those are already in the works right there, Mr. X. I go back August 7th, and I've already picked the color of my teeth. And I picked the color of my gums. So,
are those going to be hard to wear all the time, or are they going to be in the way, or will you not even notice it?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. No.
Okay, so I didn't know if they were big or annoying, where it's going to affect your speech or something like that. Like this mask, listen to the difference of when I'm talking like this, and then look at this. This mask doesn't affect my speech when I don't have it on my face. This mask affects my speech when it changes, and it's just a little bit of cloth. Sounds like sometimes I get tongue-tied and I'm not.
I got to answer a question. Can I answer a question in the chat room, Mr. X?
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
Rainbow Melon asked me, how are you feeling, Johnny? Rainbow, I'm feeling sad, but overall, I'm okay.
Yes. Well, sound like Sam is a very religious guy. These are religious experiences or spiritual experiences. And all you can hope for is there's a better place. I don't know if there is or isn't, but hopefully there is. That's all you can hope for. And Sam's right. You only have so much time. I mean, you see this with young people. You see it, even with older people. You got to just live every day. Who knows? Could be anything that could get you, So I 100% agree with that. Instead of coming online, and sometimes I'm guilty of this too, in fighting, going on Eric Foss's show and fighting with Watcher Crazy about who's a P3 and who's not. This is why I wanted you gone. So that's exactly, there's so many other things in life to do and to discuss. And sometimes we can get into that too, but it's not always necessary every single show. So that's it. 270 watching the Mr. X and Johnny. Johnny got a pretty big crowd here. They wanted to see what Mr. X is doing on Friday night. And we said we were going to have a special guest, and we had two of them. We came through. I told Sam, I said, if you can't do it for any reason, don't sweat it. Just give me as much notice as you can. And he showed up, and that's what matters.
That's good. I thought you came on. I thought you were coming on at 6 o'clock, and I missed a whole hour of it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
If you're if you're into UFC, now don't forget TKO owns the UFC and owns WWE. They bought both of them. Sam fought for when it was underneath the Fertitta brothers, and obviously Dana White runs it back then and now. But a lot of just questions. I wanted to ask him questions that nobody else has ever asked him, because I've seen a lot of his interviews, and people always ask the same 5 or 6 questions. But I wanted to see some of the questions he even said nobody's ever asked him before. So that was kind of my goal, and I think I got it. So that's that. But all right, Johnny, what else you got? Because I'm going to do some news, and I'm going to wrap it up.
I'm good, Mr. X. That's all I have for today.
Are you dry right now, or do you got anybody to thank?
I'm dry.
You're dry. You'll have a big show on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I will.
All right, I'm going to kick you out of here.
All right, buddy.
All right, dude. See you. There's Johnny. It's nice to hear from Johnny. That's right. Mr. X, you got to deal with me now. Mr. X News Network. We got 261. Let's go through some of the news that the Mr. X is known for. Mr. X News Network, where winners get their news. That's right. We talked about San Diego Comic-Con. There was a fight with P. Diddy in prison. He has been sent to solitary confinement. There was a big bust. Big bust, not big bust as in big tits, but big bust as in something happened bad in an area called Durrell, Florida. Okay, this is a real story, and I have a feeling I'm going to have some work to do. Now, I know Florida pretty well, but I've never heard of Durrell, Florida. Now, if somebody's ever heard of it, I grew up in Florida, and I'm not even familiar with it. Fuck. Hold on, it's not coming up correctly. There was a lady in Durrell, Florida. Let me just bring it up this way. Fuck it. It's not coming up correctly. Hold on. Maybe it'll come up now. Maybe it won't. Fuck it. So there was a lady in Durrell, Florida. Miami-Dade was raided a massage parlor on 7930 Northwest 36th Street in Durrell, Florida. It must be on the outskirts of Miami-Dade County. And here is the winning scenario. The winning scenario is, let me take this backdrop down. This is my favorite story of the day. Obviously, the Asian massage parlors are always laughable and interesting to the Mr. X. But these women here got busted. And I don't know how you pronounce this lady. Ganjungi Zong tried to sell a hand job for $45. This woman, no price quoted. And this woman, $70. But this person right here, under the name, and I want to say thanks to Mark for letting me use his Facebook. Wei Ling Dong tried to sell a hand job for $10. She is the winner of the afternoon. Now, this woman is nearly a saint. Because from what I understand, most women don't even want to touch a penis. And if you're going to touch a penis, you either really care about the guy or you want to make a lot more money than $10. Now, this woman, who looks like an Asian watcher of crazy, was going to do the task for she's the winner here, the low level $10. In fact, for what Miss Texas sent me already, I could have 3 hand jobs. That's how we can equate that to it. So, I want to say Wei Ling Dong is a real name. You are a hero to the Mr. X. You are somebody that the Mr. X, he would like to bail out, if possible. Not for the sake of the hand job, just the sake that I don't want one, that you would be willing to do that to what I would assume is disgusting men in these areas. Congratulations to you, ma'am. You are I think you should have been like the Supergirl. You should have been Supergirl, because that's like a superpower. I don't know. That's what I think. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I got a text. Could you make up a better name? I mean, that almost doesn't even sound real. Is it fake? Wei Ling Dong. That's the real. It's gross. Yeah. I mean, even if you're just a disgusting pig, like somebody like Watcher or Crazy, you're going to get more than $10. I mean, that's just low self-esteem. But she's out there working. I give her that credit. Now, I I went to the new area today in Culver City for the IKEA. Let me tell you this about IKEA. I had never been to that IKEA in Culver City that I could think of because it's new. They have these $60 pillows that are kind of like a square, but the bottom is like a U. So it's like a square on top, but the bottom is a U. And they're kind of firm. The Mr. X was having some neck problems because the pillows were getting soft and the head is all heavy. Those pillows are worth every fucking penny. I went down there and got another one today. So that's what I was doing earlier this morning. Got a second pillow for a special friend. Now, folks, everybody knows the Mr. X has been covering, and probably most of you don't care about this, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to cover it. It's my life. It's my show. I decide what's going on over here. What's your name? The lady? What's your name? Not Hullabaloo. Oh, Hullabaloo. Yes. Mr. X decides what happens on Mr. X News Network. We love Texas Granny. We love Barbara Buffalo. We love Rainbow Melon. Mr. X is the decision maker. And if you come into the Mr. X chat and promote a hater show, these women, who are very nice and very intelligent in their own right, know what the Mr. X wants. Now, we want you here, even if you're on some other channels that we don't necessarily like. And we'll even play along if you shit talk to Mr. X. That's okay. It's not a big deal. But if you start promoting other shows that we don't like, you're out of here. You're out of here. But for now, Mike Honcho, Dale C. and his wife, I'm not interested in them. But as far as Mike Honcho and Hullabaloo go, and I've heard they said some nasty things about the Mr. X, since they were on the OTT and they weren't fence riders as much, I don't know if it was me or somebody else, but somebody did put Mike Honcho on block. I have taken him off of block. And I have, Hullabaloo was never on block. So these women are very nice. And they're understanding. And we're all for, like, the hoopers and the people, like the guys who come in the chat or the girls who come in the chat and they joke around. Like, they're not chatters like, hey, how are you doing type person. But they say, poop, poo-poo's coming out of my butt or whatever they might say. Even guys like Graham Knott. Like, I'm okay with that. But here's what I don't want. I don't want to hear, because I don't give a fuck, that Watch Your Crazy's going live. Now, if you want to call the Mr. X and say, Mr. X, guess what happened? Leanne just got in a horrible car wreck, and it's on TV, and she ran out of the car wreck, and she's burning alive. That's okay. But if she's going live or something, I don't give a fuck. You want to tell me off air in an email or something, somebody said something about me? Cool. But don't come in the chat and promote for somebody else like Tony Soflo. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know, I mean, come on. Especially, I can understand the only way somebody would do that is if they are a hater. You know, that's when you're trying to kind of stick it to somebody. But if you're over here, hopefully you're having a good time. If you're not interested in Johnny or you're not interested in Sam Hoger or you're not interested in my news, at least you have a variety of things to go and look at. And if I'm boring, let me tell you something about YouTube or television. There's a lot of other things that are out there that you could go see. You don't have to watch my masked ass face. You could go watch a bunch of other stuff. So just because the show isn't about you, hater, and I'm not talking about you, you know, and who's that coming from? Watch Her Crazy? You're the entertaining person? You're the fucking person we need to listen to for entertainment. You are the new YouTube Academy as far as what's entertaining and what's not. You are at the level of the Mr. X. No, you are not. You are a loser who is a coward who didn't have the courage to show up where the Mr. X is at. I've said it 1,001 times. Now, let's talk about some things I am interested. Let's move on. Allie, what's up? How's Allie doing? She doing it okay? Bang! Facts. Rainbow Melon keeps trying to do new and newer, cuter pictures. I had a woman tell me the other day, you use the word cute too much for a guy. Too bad. That's what I like. Now, speaking of things that are cute, the doors have opened. Jim knows this area. Dr. Bailout knows this area. This is Primm Valley, Las Vegas. And it has happened The doors have officially opened. Primm Valley is open. Thank you, Terribles, for bringing back Primm Valley. By the way, right over to the right is a sports book that Jim has given many donations to over the years. And Mr. X has picked up plenty of money. There's also a bar to the screen right that has $2 hot dogs that are disgusting. But yes, Primm Valley is finally back open. Lots of employees are coming back. And this is at the state line. And there's the footage of when it happened. Is that Steffi walking in there in the blue? Is that her? I don't know. I don't think that's her. No, I got confused. I saw Steffi online the other day, and it was me and her it was her online and me in the chat, and Steffi was going like this. And Steffi, if you're here, I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I got to tell the story real quick. She goes, "Oh, hey, Mr. X. Mr. X, you're in the chat." And she started typing like this. "Hi, Mr. X, how's it going?" And I typed back to her. I go, "Steffi, I could hear you. You could just talk." It'd be like me saying, Rainbow Melon saying, "Laugh out loud, Mr. X." And then I type in the chat, "Hey, Rainbow Melon, how you doing?" You can just fucking talk. You don't have to respond in a chat. It's it's your show. I hope that everything in the mental capacity for that woman is okay. I don't know. Everything Sam Hoger said, I'm on board with, but if I can add one, please do not do drugs. And marijuana, although that might be cool, that'll get your mind that way, from what I understand. Get things done, don't smoke the pot. Any drug that will slow you down and make you less, well, they say it makes you more creative or make you lazy. I don't know. It's just not for me. The Terribles are a cool family. Money comes from gas station chains. That's right. Terribles. That's right. You're right. 100% right. I didn't know that you know who they were. They used to have steak sauce and a bunch of different things. I never met the family. They had casinos. They had a Terribles casino at one time off Koval. And I didn't know that you knew the family. But yes, that they have giant gas stations out there with kind of like a Yosemite Sam looking character. That's right. Well, drugs, so many do that are on here. That's right. Well, it could just be an addiction. I mean, don't forget, gambling could be an addiction too. Speaking of addictions, let me talk about my addiction of pro wrestling. Dark Side of the Ring had a new episode this past weekend. The Necro Butcher, who was in the movie The Wrestler, they had a little segment on a little scene independent match, Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe. I mean, I had never seen the match, but it was a hell of a documentary. I really enjoyed it. Speaking of things that I enjoy, now I'm not a big Sean. I'm going to come off camera here so I can get a little bit cleaner and clearer. I'm not a big Sean Penn fan. Everybody says that Mr. X is a liberal. He's a good actor. Speaking of the year the wrestler was nominated, he won for the movie Milk. He was fucking phenomenal in that movie. I ain't going to take anything away from that guy. But I guess there was a story that came out in Fox News where Sean Penn was in LA County lockup. And he was sitting next to Richard Ramirez. Like he could see him across. And the news is out there, so I don't have to share it. I'm just going to retell the story. Now, anybody who's lived in LA, and I'm sure PZ would probably be able to, the perfect person who could tell you about this. And PZ might be a little bit too old for the Night Stalker. Not too old. And let me explain it. If you're my age and lived in LA and like in the 80s, were like 9 or 10. And I don't know, PZ's probably, I think, 10 years older than me. So I imagine he would have been like 17, 18. It might have been scary for him too. This Night Stalker that went from freeway to freeway, and you know, there's freeways everywhere in LA. So everywhere, but every place is near a freeway. I've talked about him a lot. He just murdered and killed and raped. Did a lot of things similar to allegedly what Leanne's husband did. Allegedly. And he went around, and it just didn't matter if it was a man or a woman. And this guy had this disgusting breath, and he would sneak in the windows and all that stuff. They got him. They beat the shit out of him. And but Sean Penn tells a really interesting story, and the story's out there, the interview's out there, where he had like a cell across the way from him. He could see him. And there was one point where he knew who he was. This is in LA County. It's not like it was prison at this point. And this Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, was sitting right next to him. He said he could have taken him out if he wanted to. But Yeah, he was just another dude, but it's like him. Anybody who talks about like Charles Manson, who technically Charles Manson never killed anybody. Okay, let's just get that straight. Did he order somebody to get killed? Probably. Was he a cult leader? Maybe. But did he physically kill anybody? No. Only thing he said, if you're going to do something, do it well. Did he go and pull the trigger? I don't think so. But he got caught with it. There's no question. Richard Ramirez is a zillion times more scary than Charles Manson. Charles Manson's more famous. Was a small little guy. But like if there was like a number of people, like if we were going to say Mr. X is going to be in the room with Manson, Gacy. See, I wouldn't be dumb enough to have Gacy lock me up or, be in a position to work for him or anything, or drug me or anything like that. Gacy, Dahmer. Don't forget, some of these guys only went after women. Like Bundy would not do anything to me because I'm not a woman, But of all those like super famous serial killers, say that 3 times fast. In my opinion, the clear scariest one is Richard Ramirez. It's not even close, especially if you're my age. Now, I didn't grow up in LA. I grew up in Florida, but it was still scary. And people who lived in California, and I think that might be PZ, fucking terrified. Well, that was a very interesting story by Sean Penn, and he's a good storyteller. I'm not a big fan of him, politically or whatever, but that's out there. Check it out. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. Yada, yada. Now, there was another interview that came out that said people have the ability within their cells and within their organs. And I thought this was interesting because we talked about this recently with Johnny and all that people have the potential to live up to 156 years old and maybe even beyond that. So they're saying that, we're seeing people like it used to be like at 70, 80 was pretty old. And now we're seeing like Dick Van Dyke and a lot of these people, like they get to 100, no problem. 90s, 100. Clint Eastwood's still making films. So with that being said, 156 seems pretty old, but I kind of equated it to this. Jennifer Aniston is like 57, 58. Now, some of this comes with money, right? If she looks like, if you look at a picture of Jennifer Aniston now, granted, she's got her hair done, her hair's long, her hair's dyed, she's got money. I don't know if she's a plastic surgery person. Seems like a very nice person in real life, but she's like 57, 58. Growing up, if I saw a woman that looked her age, she looked in like my teenage years, like she would be 37, 38. So there's your extra 20 years right there. They say the new 40s, 50. I don't know. But they're saying that the new age is 156. Now, I think that there are so many people in life that I've met that are kind of self-checkers that, they get in their own way, drinking, drugs, alcohol. And obviously not everybody is going to live a perfect lifestyle and, eating wrong. And I'm even guilty of that. Environmental issues, which could be out of your control. You could be working in a factory and you don't even know you're just inhaling asbestos all day. I mean, who knows? You don't know. But if everything's picture perfect, can you get to 156? Maybe. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke is living a long life. His wife is like almost my age, and he's 100. She wants that money. That's all I know. So, just like Watcher of Crazy did a review on the Mr. X attorney, Jonathan Panosian, I have heard there is a rumor out there. It's not the Mr. X. That somebody did a review on Watcher of Crazy's process server. Dragon Ball Z attorney legal services. I know that road where they're located off of. I used to actually go to Circuit City right down the road. I actually think I bought the Doors DVD, the movie for the Doors DVD right down the road. I know that area. So I hear what comes around goes around, and your buddy over there just got a review. Remember that? And by the way, I hear there's also some reviews from Mr. Rule that have come out that are all positive. Thank you, the rule of law, Mr. Rule. I spoke to him the other day. Even after the case, I'm still speaking to him. He's a winner. Just like the Mr. X and just like Sam Hoger. Mr. X, now I don't know if you're out there, this is for Amanda, has a new friend. Now we talked about the Quahawk. Now we have a new tiny friend that is only friends with the Mr. X. This is a new dream for the Mr. X to meet this new friend and to hold him and to bring him on a show and have him sit on the Mr. X's shoulder. Amanda, see if you can make this happen. This is called a pygmy marmoset. Now listen, they make cute sounds, and this is the smallest monkey in the world.
It's barely the size of a finger.
It's
actually a pygmy marmoset.
Look at that cute little one. Look at his tongue. I mean, do you know what? Could you imagine if I did like a little children's book reading, and instead of little dog, the squirrel, it was little pygmy, the marmoset. We'll just give him a name, call him David or something like that. And all of a sudden, at the end of the book reading, he showed up. And the kids come around, they pet him, they snuggle him. Maybe they even hold him and get pictures of them. I think it'd be a great time for everybody. I don't know who would take care of him, but I would just have fun with him.
It's the smallest monkey in the world, and even an adult usually grows to only...
You know what? When I was in New Orleans, I saw somebody giving one of these away in Kenner. It's where the airport is in New Orleans. And the girlfriend tried to forbid me from getting one. And I said, listen, this pygmy marmoset is coming here. This friend is coming here if I can get him. And I was told, you are not allowed to get one, Mr. X. This is not a friend for you. What would you do with that? I said, I would build a little statue, almost like the Empire State Building, and have him climb up, and then I'd fly this little drone around him. I had a lot of ideas. This is before a show. I tried to call up, and he was gone already. I didn't get him. There's only a few states that you can own these. Florida is ironically one of them.
Only about
Next thing you know, they'll end up in the fucking Alligator Alley. The Everglades. There'll be 700 of these pretty soon.
4 to 6 inches long. Despite
Sounds like mines. Look at him.
being so tiny, pygmy marmosets are agile little climbers.
Look at him jump. Look at him. He jumps in the air. God, I would love to see Rainbow Melon take one of these into her work in the factory. Everybody would just be, look at that. Is that real? She would be very famous. And look at him. He's licking the bark. He's hungry. Look at those teeth. I would love to see him bite Rainbow Melon's ear, then she could walk around with him with like an earring almost. I don't know. Just Amanda, this is just a small dream of mine. I'm just a dreamer. That's all. Look at him. He's hiding. It's a little creature. Now look, there's the mother one. She's got a couple babies. Look at the baby one snuggling in there in the back. It almost looks like two heads. This is very cute. I think I like the ones that don't have the fur around their face, like the ones that are just small like that. They just look like a little squirrel almost. Yeah, that's the kind I like. This one looks like they got it somewhere in like the back of a shotgun house in New Orleans, or maybe this is New Jersey or something. But there it is, Amanda. The smallest monkey in the world, the pygmy marmoset. I mean, can I have one? I didn't do nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Oh, by the way, I forgot something. I forgot about my friend down there in Durrell, Florida, who was giving, what was she giving? Hand jobs for $10 a pop. Wailing Dong. This is for you. And Wailing Dong, Johnny has got an announcement for you as well. He says he's got a little message. This is a message that has been saved. Here you go.
And if you're not down with that, Billy's got 2 words for you.
There you go. He said, if you're not down with that, then Johnny's got 2 words for you. And it's not the hand job. The word is suck it. Okay. So we are still live here. We're going to be checking in here a little bit longer. Phone lines are open, 310-741-0845. Where the fuck's my burner phone at? I'm in the chat. I'm seeing what you guys are saying. Rainbow Melon says he's very cute and he's very fragile. You're talking about the marmoset. I understand. 250 live. Yeah, we've had a pretty solid show here. I appreciate you guys being a part of what we do over here. And I'm reading my text messages. What the fuck is going on here? Did you see the thing with Trump? We were talking about those energy centers or data centers, how he was going to mandate that they get their own power and water. Great idea. I'm not saying that facetiously. Actually, like that's actually a good idea. They should have to get their own fund. They should have to build their own power stations. I 100% agree, without question. I mean, I think that would be pretty common sense, that they would have to do the right thing. I mean, why am I paying for their power center, for their fucking power station? That's bullshit. Thank you, Spanky. Thank you, Jeremy M. Thank you for anybody who watches over the weekend and still gives the Mr. X the cash apps. I always like to say that. Don't forget about the Mr. X newsletter there. Mr. X is not loose scunt at gmail.com. We talked about it at the top of the show. You email me. You say, I want to be on the Mr. I got to say this more often because I know people are always asking about it and I don't say it enough. Mr. X is not loose scunt at gmail.com. That's right. And we add you to the newsletter. It's just that simple. You can email me. And if you've already been on there and taken yourself off, I can't add you. Just accept it. So that's just how that works. Yes, phone lines are open. I'm going through the PayPals, the Cash Apps, the Venmos to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Spanky, what's up? Don't forget about Johnny Yarbrough this weekend. If I do go out and about, yes, I will get some footage. Thank you, Texas Granny. Thank you to that kind person that came in on the 21st. Fucking these messages are ridiculous you guys send me sometimes. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there. That makes it a little bit neater looking than my giant thing. But I think I've gotten through everything I was going to get through. Sam went a perfect amount of time. So did Johnny. Johnny's coming on live again this weekend, maybe even twice this weekend. I'm checking my notes. I deleted. So I had almost 10 gigabytes of cookies on this computer. That's what was slowing it down. I took the majority of them off. Had to take them off. So this thing can run better. Then plug the computer in so we can get our shit right and not be slowed down at all. That was the goal. So with that being said, let me get into these super stickers one more time. Barbara Buffalo. No, that's too low. We got to go up to the top. Rainbow Melon. Mean Green. Barbara Buffalo. That's where we got back to that point. Texas Granny. Miss Texas. Rainbow Melon. Amanda in Australia. Amanda from Australia, I guess we should put it. Also, Miss Texas. And then Texas Granny again. That was 10. There we go. So we got through that. They think there's enough for 375 million electric car batteries. I don't know. There's when you go into Primm, there is this giant solar farm in that, what's it called? Primm Valley or whatever the fuck it is. Like, why can't they put one of those out there or put it like in the middle of like Baker, California? Why does it have to be like in El Segundo? Like, why do you need to have it in my backyard? Now, El Segundo is not my backyard. I mean, it's on the other side of the airport, but why does it got to be around not in my backyard? Read my comments above about the Salton Sea. They should be harvesting the electricity off the heated water and have a closed loop system. Well, I mean, you probably know more about it than me. The Salton Sea, dude, is disgusting. I've never been out there, but from people I know who have been out there, it smells horrible. And when it's blowing, I think usually the wind is blowing, like you would be on the west side of it, and the wind is blowing from the ocean, so west to east. But when that wind turns around and blows east to west, I hear it's horrible out there. I mean, that place is a shithole. So who the hell is going to go and keep that up out there, even for whatever you're talking about? Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Allie. She's in the house. I would not want to be anywhere near the Salton Sea. There's Miss Texas again. Do I know about the Big Bear Eagles? I know there's eagles up there, and I know what Big Bear is. Never been up there. Never really had a desire to go up there. See, here's the thing. I do not know about exactly what you're talking about. The answer is no. For me, actually not too far from where that LA Fairgrounds is. If you go north, there's Mount Baldy, and I've talked about it a lot of times. That's the closest place to LA that has snow. In fact, you could see the beach from the snow on a clear day. Going past San Bernardino and up Crestline and up these windy roads and all that stuff is Big Bear. It's like another hour. although Big Bear is much better from what I understand than Mount Baldy. If you just want to go to the snow, it's much easier to get to Mount Baldy. But like if you want to stay a place that has like recreational stuff and all that, it's Big Bear. But you know me, I'm not a fucking snow guy. I'm not going to go and hang out in that. And if it is snowing up there, I don't have a car with chains or any of that bullshit. Just never done it. I'm just good. High elevation. I don't know. Just me. Jackie got into a fight. And who's Jackie? Jackie Kennedy? It's become one of the most expensive sought after land because they think there's enough lithium for 700. Oh, that's what you mean. Maybe it's possible. I don't know. I thought that the salt and runoff and all that stuff there was runoff from the mountains and something. I forget how the salt got there, but I know that all the fish started dying and that's what started making it stink. I got something that's bald. I don't know about the bald eagles. We could always have an open discussion about bald eagles on Johnny Yarborough's show because I don't know what that means. I'd rather have a quokka. Yeah, that's right. Wonder if they have those at San Diego Zoo. Maybe they do. All right. Well, I got through everything I wanted to get through. I appreciate it. Anything else, Texas Granny? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if I missed anybody. I appreciate you being here with me for Mr. X News Network here. They are cute. Are you behind? I mean, Amanda must be like 30 minutes behind. Yeah, she must be a little bit behind. Well, you'll catch up sooner or later. Yes. Thank you guys. All good. Thank you guys for being here. Mr. X News Network. We will see you again on Monday. A little bit change of pace. You know, when I say that there's going to be an interview, do I come through or do I come through? You know, there's going to be a big guest on Friday. And then, you see me on Eric Foss's show. No guest. I'm going to go on Saturday because I'm traveling, but I'm not going to prove it to you. And then there's no guest. Or your guest is like an interview with Watcher Crazy's degenerate like ex-husband's friend or something like that. I don't know. Not the way that I would do things, and it's not the way I'm going to continue to do things. This is how I do things right there. The arm bar. See, look at the guy tapping out. And this is how I do things because of you guys right there. Thank you so much for helping me get over to 1,000 people. And I will see you on Monday on Mr. X News Network. Thanks for the cash apps, everything else. And we'll see you soon. That's all I can say. Well, I can say this too.
You can't keep getting away with it!
I didn't do nothing.
Thank you for watching Mr. X News Network. Are you still here? I told you. It's time to die.